forth. Before we're at the back and forth, I won't stay on top. No, no. Oh. What's up, everybody? This is the Jedi. Good afternoon. Good evening. I think I want to start by quoting a song. Hey, slow it down. What do you want from me? What do you want from me? You know, it's a song that was written by Pink, but it was performed by Adam Lambert. And while it was so perfect for his situation post American Idol, it really is a metaphorical song for anyone who has been taxed for their attention, their time, or their energy, who has given their best or has endeavored, but it's not enough. Um, Honestly and sincerely, what do you want from me? What do you want from me? You know, I thought about that because music is such a part of my life. There's always a song in my heart and in my head. And I'm getting texts from all over the country today about this Kevin Samuels person. In fact, I was on with one of the sisters um, last night or the night before. Today is Friday. The night before, or last night. Yeah, yeah, because it was Friday. I was trying to figure out what day it was at one point in our conversation. It was already Friday for her, and I was thinking it was Friday, and anyway, that's how I know. But she mentioned it, um, you know, and then I found out today that someone that I knew, not someone I'm close to, but someone that I knew also passed away. Very unexpected. Um, she's a mother, or was a mother, is a mother. Uh, and and then the ire of all this began. What do you want from me? I'm going to keep coming back to that. Um, I had already planned to speak about this Roe v. Wade because it's so important to women And I'm only ever speaking about African people, whether I'm speaking about men or women. That's it. I don't have time or the luxury to get into anybody else's affairs or to give a damn. So it's especially important for women because Roe v. Wade is the landmark legislation that legalizes abortion, if you will, a woman's right to choose life or not. And white men, demons, born evil, all of them have always been the ones trying to govern women in a way that African men have never sought to govern women. This is the perfect two topics to bring because both of them tie together this Kevin Samuels person and this Roe v. Wade issue. So forever, white male demons, born evil, all of them have been seeking to overturn this Roe v. Wade. Every election cycle, you always hear about where do you stand on abortion. I'm so over that. Like, before I even knew anything about politics, I just knew, like, you in somebody's business you don't need to be in. I just knew that. And as someone who was raised by a high angel, my grandmother, and 5 of my siblings are women, I always had an innate sense that nobody had to teach me nothing. They didn't have to tell me nothing. Nobody had to sit me down. The relationship between a man and a woman is natural as the physical. Just like nobody will really tell us what we need to do to smash. You don't need nobody to tell you how to interact with a woman unless you're really seriously fucked up. Organics, instinct. Because we have intellect, we just think that we know it all. And we don't ever even consider that, well, instinct should just happen. Instinct. Just instinct. The fitra. This is what you're born with. I was sharing with one of my brothers that I saw a video recently of a cat. It was in some other video. It wasn't even the focus point of this. It was meant in a different context completely. But there was a cat on a granite countertop. It had pooped on the granite countertop in the kitchen. And there it was, doing this on the counter. And you know how they turn around and go to the other side and they do this. That is the fitra. That is when you see your maker. It's the same as when Moses said to Allah, "Let me see you." And Allah said to him, "You can't see me. I'm too much. You can't." And he made the mountain to blow up. And then he told him to place his hand into his bosom and pull it forth. He's trying to show you, I can show you me, and I don't need to be there. For a woman, because we're going to talk a lot about women today, among other things, quite frankly, but don't you feel a man's presence when suddenly a courier arrives at your job and there's 24 beautiful roses that have been sent for you and a nice card with something gentle on it? Don't you feel the presence of that man? You do. So this is far more profound than that. But those are the moments when those of us who are paying attention, we see our maker. We see our maker. Because this cat, even on a granite countertop, this is what I'm ordained to do. This is what I'm doing. This is what I do. I poop and then I do this. On a granite countertop. Still following procedure. Instinct. But we know it is the will of Allah. You know, they've come up with all these other little words to hide the identity of the divine. Instinct, you know. But it's the divine. It's his presence. It's his will. Everything in creation submits and does only what Allah wills for that and ordains for it, except for mankind. So, just like the cat is doing that, I had a natural thing that nobody had to tell me about women growing up. I fully came into adulthood with nobody sitting me down and say, man, never happened. Didn't need it. My father and my brothers, well, one of my brothers never moved when we left Chicago. One of them died, and then one of them, that's my next brother, but he's not the next sibling, he went off to the military when I was like 8 or 9. So I wasn't even in puberty yet, so there was no sitting me down and saying, when you turn 12, it's going to be like. And my father didn't do any of those things, but so I came through just fine. Nobody had to tell me. And all of my relationships with women have been very successful, productive, and healthy. Problem-free. So that's how I know a lot of this stuff is conjured, but specifically to speak to this Roe v. Wade thing. And I suggest to you that these other things that are being highlighted are to divert you away from this Roe v. Wade thing. It's important because anything, like when we talked about vaccines, whether you're for the vaccine or against it, is not the issue. That's not the issue. The issue is you don't come right here and tell this vessel anything that it's going to do or what I must do or will do. You're not the boss of me. You don't govern me. You don't. This is that. So Roe v. Wade sought to say, okay, it's not our business, but every political cycle they're bringing it up. Sometimes it's more for drama than real intent. Just to talk about, well, let's talk about Roe v. Wade. Let's talk about abortion instead of talking about universal health care. Let's not talk about eliminating student loan debt. Let's talk about abortion. And I'm just sick to death of it. And white people are specifically obsessed with the issue, showing up at abortion clinics to take out doctors and, throwing blood on clinicians and things like this. I mean, and the whole brouhaha around Planned Parenthood and all of it. But it's so much bigger than that for me, because I always tell you, we have to exist within our own bubble, under our own understanding, but we're only taking cues from them. What they say, that's it. We don't need Roe v. Wade or a mother or anybody else. What do we say about it? What do we say? And it's because of them that you are now even in this cycle of Planned Parenthood and Roe v. Wade and anybody else, because back in the mid to late 80s, early 90s is when I first started hearing this thing from African parents of, I don't spank my children. Worst thing that ever happened. Worst. Some of you listening to me right now are some of those pathetic people. Listen, there has to be discipline and there has to be punishment for bad behavior. There just must be. And standing in corners is not it. There's sometimes when, yes, you must strike your child. And children know the difference between discipline and abuse. We all know it. We all know it. Show up at anybody's Thanksgiving or family reunion or cookout or anything else, and invariably, if the conversation goes to ass whoopings, everybody's got a funny story to tell about how they got their ass whooped for something significant. And we all laugh about it. It's almost a rite of passage, but not anymore. I was listening to a woman speaking to Dr. Umar Johnson about her son dating white women. But it's not just that subject and not just that woman. The tone is the same from black women and black parents in general. This, help me, I don't know what to tell my child, what can I do? That's a foreign world to me. Any child in my presence, I am the divine. Whatever I utter, if I even think it, it happens. That's it. I am the law. That's it. That's it. So I'm not understanding this discussion and children's opinions and rights and All of that. I'm not understanding that. But you've bought into that. You've bought into it. This is why I'm in the grocery store and I see you next to your grown ass son and I'm looking at his underwear. All of which you bought him. How's he walking next to you with this? How's that happening? How? How? You know, last time my nephew was here, he was trying to quasi sag, like I'm not going to notice. You need to get that belt on. It needs to be on tight, unless you want me to put the belt on you. You see, pants came up very quickly and belts were tightened. It's what I say. It's what I say. Because I am the adult. Therefore, I should know better. And it is my responsibility to him to lead him in the right direction. And not just acquiesce to him because of what? Because of what? And too many of you visit your own ignorance of what was right for your own upbringing as something that you rebelled against, and so you don't want to visit that on them. You don't need to be trying to compare your childhood to your child's childhood. That is out the window. You're supposed to give them what they need, and amongst what they need is they ass whoop. They need that. That they need that, because without it, that's how they were able to come up with all this ADHD and he's got this and the kids are, no. You show me a child that they've diagnosed with some of that shit, and I'll show you a child that has never seen a belt, a switch, or an extension cord. Do you understand? We can remedy these things very quickly. But I suggest to you this whole Roe v. Wade thing is being used, that other things are being used to distract away from this. Not necessarily for you and I, but for the population in general. Because, and what makes it suspect and what I offer to you as my smoking gun for my theory, and what turned my head to it, is that they're saying that there was a leak from the Supreme Court. A leak. A leak. As soon as I heard that, I spoke. The Supreme Court leak about Roe v. Wade is bullshit. They're definitely going to get rid of Roe v. Wade. Because I always tell you, if they're telling you about something, it's already done. It's already done. Roe v. Wade is over. It's over. It's over. And I'll play this back for you and tell you I told you so. So it's over. All right. But I didn't say that part. I did not go on to say. I say they're definitely going to get rid of Roe v. Wade. When have you ever heard of a Supreme Court leak? Tell me, when have you ever heard of a Supreme Court leak? When? When have you heard of a Supreme Court leak? This isn't like, ooh, it was leaked that Beyonce is dating, or it was leaked that, so-and-so's excerpt of so-and-so's book, or so-and-so's going on tour, or, pictures were leaked of so-and-so in a compromising position and, situation. I, in my lifetime, have never heard of a Supreme Court leak. Have not experienced that reality at all. Which is also more telling to me that Roe v. Wade is over. It's over. It's over. It's over. They want to now, and it goes hand in hand with this whole population control bullshit that they just gave us in 2020. That's all it is. And now let's roll out the Roe v. Wade piece, which is kind of contradictory. So you want to kill people off, but you don't want abortion. It's inconsistent at the very least, because if you don't want abortion, well, we have more children than you. You're already projecting the numbers when your white ass is you're not going to be the majority anymore, which you're not the majority anyway. I remind you, black people, we don't refer to ourselves as minority at all anymore, ever. Ever. Just on the African continent, there's a billion and a half of us. A billion and a half of us. So, I don't become a minority because I go someplace. If I'm a king, wherever I go, I'm still a king. You understand what I'm telling you? I don't lose my crown when I go someplace else. And I don't lose my status in numbers as an African, no matter where I exist. So it's okay to be called African American, acknowledging we're from Africa, but you're a minority. No, no, bitch. I'm an African, and there's more of me than you. So they're the ones keeping the numbers and are obsessed and paranoid about when we're going to overtake them finally in this nation. Um, I'm sad about it because I know we won't massacre them off. So it won't be a good day, you understand. But so why don't you want abortions then? Not understanding. It's inconsistent, as I say, at the very least. And but again, it is still men, particularly white men in that situation, trying to govern women. And this, this is what will really tell it. So maybe there isn't necessarily the inconsistency that I just spoke of, because we look to see now that they will continue with the Planned Parenthood and the off-the-chart numbers of black women having abortions. We know that at least 20 million of our people were aborted since 1973, I think it is. 20 million. That's a big number, dude. That's a big number. That's a big number. But they don't want white bitches to have abortion. But remember, if one person can't do something, then you can't do it either. Because their white sickness is always consistent. And they hate whenever you get to do something that they can't do. Because what they really want to say is white women can't have abortions anymore because we are paranoid about these damn niggers taking over our numbers. And they should want to kill us. And if it was us, we would have already killed them off. We wouldn't have been as nice and civil as them. And damn it, their numbers are going to overtake us in a way that we can't hide anymore, because they've been the majority since before the Jedi was alive in this country. But we continue to hide the numbers in our bullshit ass census and all of it. We won't be able to keep this charade up. Damn it, no more white women can have abortions. That's what it's about. Because it's inconsistent. If you can't have an abortion and she can't have an abortion, you still going to outnumber her bitch ass. So they really want to say white women. That's what they really want to say, you see. So again, it's men trying to tell women what they can and cannot do. That's always been sacred to me, like in a way that nobody needed to sit me down and explain. Just you don't get to, that's you just don't get to, that's not you out, no, that's, you're out of line, you're out of bounds, you're out of context, you understand, you're out of your damn lane. But surprising with this dictation, because are you, yeah, a little bit more. No, I think I heard it. Because I'm also surprised. I don't know what everybody that's texting me is sending me this Kevin Samuels thing about, and why I would care. You know, I have been critical of his. I don't want to say teaching. I'm just using that for lack of a better word right now. You know, I've been critical of what he had to say. I'll say it that way. But I don't know him as a person. You know, I didn't declare him evil, or anybody that I hated or anything like that. So it's sad when someone passes away. You know, I'm sure he didn't exist on the earth by himself. He was somebody's friend or family member or brother or uncle, or I don't know if he had children. You know, it's very sad, you know, in that regard. But I remain firm on my utter and outright disagreement on his very existence for the stuff that he was bringing to our community. But I'm even more dismayed at the level of cultic following of black women to this dude or anyone like him. I've seen because sometimes he's like that Tommy Sotomayor person. His stuff became so pervasive that sometimes you would know it's his video. I wouldn't. I click on it because it has a good thumbnail and the topic or something. I click, and damn it, it's this dude, and I have to click away, you know. But I've seen women who they turn into like a 2-year-old when he's dictating to them. How fucking backwards is this? And what I realized, and why I'm even broaching this topic, is because I need an education. I need an education from women of what space are you in. I don't want to hear from you if you're not willing to be honest. Don't bring me dishonesty on any level for anything at all. This shall be no different. But what fucked up space are you in that you need to hear this stuff from a man? You got people like Scheherazade Ali who have been out there for many decades. And that's a woman speaking. Seems that's who you would listen to. Because show me now the female who men are following in an occultic way, like you all follow this dude and the Sotomayor dude, and there's somebody else out there. Show me the woman now that men are flocking to get all of their information and their marching orders from. They're not having it. They're not having it. What I need to be educated about, because I thought before I came to YouTube, I thought all black women were like my sisters and like the women I've dated. You understand? I thought all black women were that same way. You know, on the main shit. You know, like one sister may wear her different or something like that. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fundamentals, you know. Are you that fucked up or that insecure, or have you been that seduced? Are you walking around doubting your own identity and power? I really need to know that. Like I want you to type today. I need you to type, because that's the only reason I'm wasting my time to sit in this bitch right now, because I need answers, because there's something that I don't understand. And I realize that there's something you don't understand, man. Something else is going on. Something else. And I don't know what it is. That's why you got to tell me. You must tell me. Whether you're watching me live now or after the fact, I need some shit to be typed from black women to educate me. Tell me what the fuck is going on. What is happening that I'm not party to, that I don't know. You know, this whole idea of this guy was putting forth this, you know, high value, these titles they come up with. You know, this Cynthia person, she was with her beta male bullshit, and here he comes with the high value male and all these. I don't do well with this. I don't even do acronyms. Do you understand what I'm telling you? So this is too much for me. You know, to me, it's just you and me. You black woman, me black man. What's up with you? What's up with me? How do we come together? That's it. But all this formalizing and characterizing and prerequisite shit, I'm over it. I'm fully over it. I'm over it. Do you understand what I'm telling you? I'm over it. I'm over it. Are you looking for some mystical key, as if, you know, we're in, you know, Harry Potter or something? There's some magical castle key that is going to be bequeathed upon you. And what do you seek? Is it understanding, strategy? You know, are you looking for something? And are you not in a relationship and you don't know how to interact, or you think you don't know, or are you married, or and you afraid you're gonna lose your man? I mean, I don't know. I'm just throwing shit at the wall because I don't know. I don't know. I've never heard any of this in my life before. And I've lived all over this nation. I've interacted with millions of people. I never heard this. None of this before I came to this damn platform in 2014. That's when I started hearing little things. And what? I think the first person I heard, it was a sister, was Lashid For You. Because I remember I fell in love with her. Something about her that I just loved. And I remember sending her a comment, like, you know, something. And the production on her video was very enchanting to me. I loved it. I think that's when I first sort of began to get rumblings, you know, of something, and then it was just other stuff, you know, and then the Sotomayor dude, and I just thought, what is that? I just thought maybe it's just some group and people are fighting, you know, I really didn't know, dude. Like, I had no fucking clue, none at all. Um, Listen, my older sister, well, everybody's older than me. My sisters, my three older sisters, certainly. No, well, not my oldest, but then the two after that, especially. Um, I always saw them, first of all, how they treated me. I'm the brother, so I'm first. So how they, like, I would be after my father, I'm the next, me and my brothers would be the next men they interact with, and I would, you know, have an understanding of who they are and stuff like that. I never saw any sense of insecurity or doubt in my sisters. Um, they're survivors. They just get it done. They make things happen. They come together when they need to. Um, but specifically as it relates to relationships with men, you know, I saw a lot of their dating as I was growing up. Um, One of my sisters, her first husband, um, they fought a lot. I was too young to understand what relationships were and why they were fighting. I didn't really get it. Now looking back, I think he's been deceased, but I thought he was just jealous, or one of, you know, some brothers, some people, not just brothers, women do the shit too. I don't understand this jealousy thing either. That's a foreign thing to me. That's like a language I never heard. I swear to you. But I don't understand. Like, if I don't trust you, I'm not with you. If you show me anything about your character that's untrustworthy, I'm not interested in you. That's it. Because I got to have trust. To me, that's the foundation. That's like you make a cake and you ain't got no pan to put it in the oven in. How you going to bake that cake? How? You don't have a thing to put it on. Nothing. You can't just pour it over the rack in the oven. You can't make a cake. That's what trust is for me in any relationships in life for me. When you say it, I believe it. You proclaimed it, it is gospel. It is without error. So I don't understand this. So I think he had some. Y'all are making my do-rag tight. Y'all do it every time. It's the only time. It's the only time. It's when I'm here and I'm like, and I don't do it any other time in my life. No other time. But so there must be something to that. You know, I don't know what it is, but anyway, he must have had something going on, you know, or maybe my sister was shitty, you know. I had to learn that because, you know, one of my nieces, well, my first niece actually, um, I remember when I first returned to California, the dude she was dating was, you know, always putting holes in walls and shit, and, you know, even when she had her second baby, I sat in the damn hospital with her for a gazillion hours with epidurals and everything else happening, and she turned into the devil woman in front of me and all of it, and he didn't want to be there, and I had to cuss him out and, like, you're not leaving this fucking hospital, it's going to be a problem, you're going to be in the next ward on, you know, life support and things like this. But at some point after that, it dawned on me, you don't know what it's like to date your niece. You don't know what that is. You just know her as your niece. So I called him up. And I said, I'm not gonna grit on you no more because, and I told him what revelation had been given me. Like, I don't know what it's like to date my niece. She might be a fucking bitch. She just might be. She just might be, you know. She just might be, you know. And so I had to understand that. But what I'm trying to get to is to digress to my sisters to say that, you know, and they had varying levels of economic stability and things like that over their journey. And then eventually, you know, my second to the oldest sister, her husband, they've been together for a gazillion years, and then they bought a house, and they've been doing, you know, their thing ever since. And then my other sister, same thing, you know, but she always had a house some kind of way, even when she was just renting, you know, even back when she used to be on Section 8, like back, she still had a big house some kind of way, you know. But why I bring those two is because they can be anywhere. And I know both of their husbands to be decent men. Okay, fine, Aaron had an alcohol problem, but he eventually got over that. But my other brother-in-law was stable. He's he's a fighter aircraft mechanic for decades. Like at the last time before I stopped communicating with everybody, I think he'd been 20 some odd years. He had been in that. But either of them, you can be any place and they are rattling on, and you'd be like, well, what do you think Jim is going to say? And, you know, my sister would be like, Jim does not run this. I run this, you know. And she doesn't mean it as an insult. It's just, I run this. I just do. But these are women who established what's going to be before these dudes are going to be with them. You feel me? Like, this is what it is. In fact, I even jokingly or insincerely, not really meaning it, back when Bush was president, because gasoline was like it is now. It's like $1,000 a teaspoon. And my sister Jamila, her children are grown now, don't live at home, and the car she had was on some kind of a fritz. And so next thing I know, she got a new Tahoe. And I just thought, it's enough for me to fill up my Honda. And I go, Jim, why did you get her a damn Tahoe? And he goes, because that's what she wanted. Like, that was it. That's it. And he's not a marshmallow. He's not a cream puff. He's not a pushover. He's a very strong man, very tough. But that's what also makes a man tough, is understanding it's not a compromise to you, your manhood, your ego, or shit else, to let your woman do what she needs to do. But it's in the selection process. You're trying to pick a good human being, but you're putting too much bullshit on it. She got to have a fat ass. She got to be this. She got to be this tall. I can't date her if she this color. She got to be this. She got to be this. You've done all this non-essential shit, and then you don't even get to the character. When it should be, is she an honest woman? Is she truthful? Does she fear God? You know, what's her relationship with her father? Where is her father? You know, whatever. Because when you have a good human being as your mate, just so you can really understand it, in case some of you are fucked up and too many voices are going off in your head right now, let's just move it to friendship. You got a buddy that you hang out with. Now, you want to hang out with dingy dudes? They could have something on them if they riding with you in a car. You feel me? They usually got a gun or something else. You feel me? They got enemies everywhere they go. They scamming on your woman. You're just down the list you could go. You don't really want to hang out with that dude. You feel me? So when you have friends, you're looking for brothers you can just be chill with, that have your sensibility, whatever that is. Maybe you just a gamer and you like basketball. Okay, that's a low bar, but if that's where you at, then that's what you need to find. This is no different. We make it so much more when it comes to our women, because you get distracted by the shit that's not important. And so are they. Instead of everybody, just stop. Men and women. Women, stop it. It's okay in this era now. As a Muslim, I would never say this, but I can't bring the horse back into the stable. So I just have to deal with what's out there. If you want to be a slut and sleep with 80 niggas a night, go ahead, girl. Do your thing. Do it. That's fine. You can be just as much of a slut as men. No problem. Why not? Now, if you're not ready to be in a relationship, then don't do that. No dating, no boyfriends. Just have your sex and move the fuck on. It'll make life a lot easier for those of us who are sick and tired of hearing about it. Sick and tired. And the same thing with men. Just go out there and screw. That's it. Just do that. Because your relationships are never going to work. And why a Kevin Samuels or anybody else is even able to even have relevancy is because you all are operating in a space of disrespect and disobedience to the way that the divine has laid out. Your relationships can be perfect and without problems, but you're bringing all this other drama into it, and that's why you're running off to Kevin Samuels to hear what he has to say. What can a man say to a woman? That's like some white person come to me telling me I'm supposed to go to some white person to learn how to be black. Nah, that's never going to happen. And to me, this is that. How are you as a woman need to go to a man to tell you about what you need to do in order to be a woman? You have multinational corporations out there right now. They're doing all sorts of market research on customers to figure out how do we market to the customer. Ooh, change the label to this because this doesn't work in, Puerto Rico, or no, this won't work in Maine. They'll never go for it, in Appalachia. Change that. Oh, we need to market to this demographic, etc., etc. They're constantly changing their brand to the customer because the customer has the dollar. Damn it, women, you have the fucking dollar. So you don't cater to the seller, you're the fucking customer. If that's the case, then next time you're out at a restaurant, you go back in the kitchen and you fix your own damn meal and bring it to your own table and eat it. And then bill yourself and bring your own check to the table, because why not? That's what you're doing, essentially. It's foreign to me. I don't even have words to even express my level of non-understanding on this. I've never seen it in my life. My brother, the next boy, his wives and relationships, well, he's a cream puff and a pushover, so he's not the best example. That's something else. But I'm saying but still the fundamentals of what I'm trying to put across were still even there for him. What is this? The thing that sticks out with me of this Kevin Samuels dude is this, high value woman, high value man. What the fuck does that mean? Is that Chanel? Is that Givenchy? Is that Saint Laurent? Is it Louboutin? What is it? What does that mean? Because when I think high value, I think Michelle Obama. That's high value. That's a sister who is self-motivating, self-intellected, capable, powerful, formidable, beautiful, self-contained entity, a whole being on her own. Before you get to Barack. And that's what it should be for men and for women. You're not looking for someone else to add to you or complete you. You're supposed to be a whole fucking person on your own. Do you understand? It's one of my principles I tell brothers. You're looking for a housemaid and an investor when you get with a woman. Well, I'm my own housemaid and I'm my own fucking investor. I pay my own fucking bills and have been since I'm 17 years old. I don't need a woman to do shit. If she wants to do something, that's fine. I'm sure I'll protest when she's trying, but if she wants to, okay, go ahead, you're fine, you can do that. But it's not at my behest. I don't need it. I don't want it. But you're requesting it as a requisite. These things I hear, And then I hear Beyonce, always 50-50 relationship. Well, bitch, you talking about upgrading a dude with purple labels and shit. You have that, Beyonce. Sat your ass on an island with your private jet and let us deal with this. Because our reality is not yours. How about that? How about that? You see. And everybody doesn't have a boyfriend or a husband that looks like the both of men. So I don't want to get into it. But you cannot... Michelle said in her book, I showed you, I did a piece on her book. It's here on the channel. One of the things she had to learn, and I was like, wow, the only thing that surprised me about the statement was that she didn't know it. Because, when people are that accomplished, I mean, she's Princeton, she's Harvard, there's a certain, and I forget how old Michelle is now, but it's not important. The fact of the matter is her academia suggests to me a certain level of knowledge and experience, and she's from the south side of Chicago. So when she's sitting up talking to lesbian bitch ass Robin Roberts and saying, I had to learn that that Barack is not responsible for my happiness. I was like, I thought you knew that. I thought most people knew that. I don't understand. Like, I never have been in a relationship like, you need to make me happy. That's why I've really not been obsessed about getting married until where I'm at now in my life. I'll speak about that in a moment, but I'm trying to say that I don't need anyone to make me happy. I just would like to share myself with someone. You understand? And I think many of our people, our women and our men, quite frankly, somewhere from the time that your mama popped you out and you said wah, somewhere to the now you've gotten some signal that you need to now, that your happiness is somewhere over the rainbow. It's somewhere over the rainbow, and it's not. There is nothing wrong, and don't ever have to dim your light, men or women. You don't need to dim your light for anybody. You don't need to. So in the case of Michelle Obama, she went to Princeton. She was graduated top of her class. She went to Harvard Law. Now, is she supposed to come out and settle for Ray Ray? No. But can she be with Ray Ray? She can if Ray Ray understand that her happiness is not tied up to you. You understand? Having said that, making your partner happy and doing things that bring joy is different than I'm the definition of your happiness. So much did I know this, and why I'm surprised that so many people don't understand this principle is when I was still a teenager. One of my earliest girlfriends, we had no problems, but it dawned on me one day, I'm her world. Now, a lot of dudes would get off on that. I don't, because I'm an individual, but I also recognize you're an individual. So I recognize she don't got shit going on but me. I'm her world. She's never gonna, we're teenagers. She's never gonna do anything with her life. I broke up with her. We're crying, both of us, as I'm breaking up with her. I know there's somebody else. I go, there's nobody else. I promise you. There's nobody else. And you don't have the intellectual property. I'm a teenager telling her this. I know that you don't have the intellectual property to understand why I'm breaking up with you. But I'm breaking up with you hoping that one day you will understand. I'm not going to cry in this video. Fast forward decades later. We're in the same city. And somebody else makes the connection and we get together and we go to dinner. We're making small talk and what's been going on and blah, blah, blah. And then she says to me, she said, I want to say something to you. I want to say thank you for breaking up with me. I held my breath. I stopped breathing. I didn't even say, oh, really? Huh? Like, no, just, I was frozen. Like, don't breathe. Don't stop breathing. If you can stop your blood from circulating, do that too. Don't move. She goes, because I didn't understand it then. And to hear this coming from her was everything that was in my heart. The night I broke up with her. Here it was coming back to me. I'm not gonna cry. She said, because I recognized that if you hadn't broke up with me, I don't think I would have ever done anything with my life. Everything that I've done, I don't know that would have even happened because I was so wrapped up in you. Then I couldn't hold my breath anymore. I said, I cannot tell you the gratitude that it gives me to hear you say these words to me out of your understanding mind, out of the lived experience, coming to that understanding on your own. That's why I was crying that night when we were teenagers, because I knew that. And if I tried to explain that to you, you weren't going to get it. And one of the most frustrating things in my life, even to this day, like I haven't talked to my family in many years. If I thought they would hear me and they could understand and acknowledge, it would have been over a long time ago. But I know I can't be heard. They won't hear me. They'll listen, but they're not hearing me. And so it won't get fixed. I won't leave whole. It'll just start the cycle again. So fuck them. This is that as it relates to the hearing. She came to that on her own recognition. Now she understands on her own. Damn it. It was the greatest thing. So, to digress, can Ray Ray be with Michelle Obama? If Michelle Obama wants to be with Ray Ray, fine. If that's where she gets her sense of joy and fun, and that's who she want to hang out with, she can still be Harvard and Princeton, and Ray Ray is her dude. Pants down to the ankles and all of it. You go, Michelle. But one and one usually make two. And who you become and how you respond to your environment is predicated on your own inner echoes that you usually don't listen to. You don't listen to. Most people don't, because you're not in tune. Your life is too noisy. There's way too much noise to your soul. Too much noise going on in here. In here, noise. You can't hear anything at all that is divine. The energy from the universe whispering to you, guiding you, telling you. And then when you do get a little sound of it, you just ignore that. So your whole life is a total catastrophe. That's all it is. But she coming from where she came from, every person should have someone who they feel is aesthetically pleasing to their eye, if that's what they seek. Because what I know for sure is that I have met women who I didn't necessarily find attractive, like on a first glance. They weren't ugly, but it wasn't like, oh my God, did you see that sister right there? But then their essence took over. That inner thing, that's different. Wow. You don't know what that sister is, whatever. It's a whole thing. So I don't even squint or frown, if I see a brother that's with a sister that look kind of beat up. It's like, okay, they're probably happy. Or vice versa. I see a sister with a dude that's fucked up. Like, like you for real? Like, I'm not mad at that, because what I know for sure, well, I thought I knew for sure, is that women should, so forget what I was going to say, women should be going on what it is that you desire and need, and not what you think you should have. And you definitely shouldn't be doing it in the context of competition to, and display. You can't wait to run, tell your girl, he a lawyer, girl. Don't tell that shit. What does he do? I don't know, girl. I don't know. You see? Because because for what? Yeah, after you've been together 10 years, then maybe she can know, whatever. It's just, you're not understanding that men and women are understanding that you have a journey through life from cradle to grave of your own. So that any coming together is, do you want to share this arc with me? It's kind of like if you're on a train riding cross country and somebody, you see a sister come sit down and say, do you want to sit here? And then y'all establish something while you're on that Amtrak, you feel me? And you remember that. You made that journey across country together. This has happened to me, by the way. But this is it, but the metaphor of life for me is that same thing. That you want to make this journey with me? All right, let's go. Not what did you bring? What's in your luggage? No, fuck that. Just you want to make this journey with me? All right, let's go. And we just go. Nothing complicated. Nothing. Just fuck all that. We gonna make this journey together. But you're not starting from the place of friendship. That's why I don't understand the necessity for the Kevin Samuels of the world and all these people. Because it starts with just friendship. I'll grant you it can start an attraction. But every time you don't necessarily see somebody you fall in love with. You know what I mean? Like, it could. I've literally worked on jobs. This one sister I dated, we worked on, a couple times it's happened for me. Working on the job is how I know your character. I just like you. And, oh my God, you like me too. All right, we should go out. And boom, it happens. But it starts from a place of, I really like you. But not because I think you're cute or because you're going to look good on my arm. Like, I really like your energy. I like being around you. Why can't it just be that fucking simple? Why? Why? Damn it, why? Educate and tell me this. Tell me these things. Tell me. Just why can't it be that way? Because that's what's always worked for me. Do you like me? I like you. Are you cool? What's up? Are we able to chill? Can we be in the same house together and we don't speak all day, but we're happy? You're in another room. I'm in the library or some bullshit. Just we're content to be in the same space. We good. I don't understand what the complication shit is all about. And I don't understand, man. So like I say, tell me what it is that I don't know. Tell me what I don't know. I'm happy to hear it. Jedi, what you don't understand is, whatever it is, I'm here to hear the argument. Whatever it is, there are no wrong answers. Because I don't know anything. I clearly don't know. Because I thought, and I would think, that everybody wants a drama-free ass interaction with the opposite sex. No drama. We just good. I don't know what their relationship is, but there's a couple that I come across. I don't know if I subscribe to them or not, but the dude, I even clicked on them because I love catfish, but I don't eat it because you can't get real catfish. Catfish come in different sizes and different species. So when you go into the market, every fucking catfish fillet is the same fucking size. That is not a catfish. It's not. And the taste of catfish is very distinct. Very distinct. That's what makes it so delicious. That ain't it. But so I saw this dude, that's his whole thing, is he goes out and he catches fish. But what really got me was he said we want to get groceries. And I love that sort of basic earthliness. Like, that's what it really supposed to be. I don't need to go to the market. I just go out in creation. I get what I'm supposed to get to feed my family right now. That's what's up. And I love that his wife was supportive. She he'll do portion of the video, and then she takes over because he come home and cut the fish up and clean it, and the wife takes care of cooking it and all that, and boom, the kids come and they all happy and they grubbing and make me want some. But I'm just trying to say, like, that's just that rhythm of them two is something. I don't know what their interpersonal workings are, if they get along, how long they've been together. I don't know none of that. I hope it's all good for them. But damn, I just don't get it, man. So when I see and I hear people like this guy, and again, rest his soul, because when the sister first told me about it, I said, is this true? Because there's some bitch that's got a whole channel always proclaiming somebody very famous dead every single day, and I've tried to get the bitch shut down. So let me understand. I can get on here and say Oprah died and do full pictures and everything and proclaim Oprah dead, and my channel, nothing happens. But I get on and I read the FDA claiming that they approved the vaccine, and somehow I'm a problem. Not understanding, but just anyway. But she's declaring somebody dead every day. So I just thought, is this one of those things where just, come on, it didn't happen. And I had to do some researching before I even decided to do this portion of this, because I'm like, well, is it even true? I mean, who's saying this to us? Who's saying it? But alas, it is the truth. And as I say, I don't have anything bad to say about him, the individual, but it just, everything that he taught was just some bullshit, whether he's saying it or anybody else. I don't agree with it, and I'm sick and tired of black women flocking to it. And why are you flocking to it? It seems you should be canoodling with other women in the numbers you canoodle around men like that. You all should be coalescing in those numbers and greater, and saying, aren't we fucking sick and tired of not having a throne? How are we letting them dictate to us? We're willing to be good and fair, but no double standards. And it is our right to ask for our value as women, because we are not the same as them. I happen to come across some new, because you guys know I don't have television, but I came across some new season of this 90 Day Fiancé, some iteration of it. There is a chick, I think she's from, she might be from Jamaica, now that I think about it. She's Muslim. And the brother is from this tacky ass piece of dirt. I forget her name, but his name is Bilal. And apparently when he was in Jamaica and she saw him, he had Louis Vuitton luggage and he was in all of it. And so she had assessed that at the very least he's not a bum, And so when she gets her visa and she comes here, and by the way, he does something like flips houses or something. He has a very beautiful estate. But that's not what he took her to. He took her to his childhood home where he grew up, which is very dilapidated. It's a very poor house, obviously. But what does that really mean, though? That's something else. And I'm sure I've done that lecture and I'll do it again. But this was not the house. We'll just say that. And it just didn't add up. Like, okay, I saw Louis Vuitton luggage, and I saw, Chanel or somebody else or whoever the fuck she saw. But this is not it. So she let it be known, this is not what I expected or what I thought I was coming to, from Jamaica, And then he leaves, and then she calls her mother. She's videoing with her mother, and her mother is giving her some wise advice, like material shit ain't everything, so just see if he's bullshit, and then if not, if he's some bullshit, then get your butt on the next plane smoking and be back over in Jamaica, goddamn. So she decided to stick it out, and then the next morning he comes to her room, and this is what I loved. I hope you'll get something from this, what I'm about to tell you right now. She first apologized to him in no way that compromised her humanity or anything like that, or her womanhood. Just was like, look, I want to, like, let me give you this, like, as if, like, what I did was wrong, and so let me just give you that acknowledgement. It was beautiful. It was perfect. So, and it was honest, and and she meant it. It was everything. And then he began to express how that made him feel, and she goes, I do understand that. She says, but I came here on a K-1 visa, Bilal. I don't know anybody, and I can't work for many months. You're my sole provider. I have to depend on you for everything: food, water, shelter, everything. And there was a pause. She said, can you take care of me, Bilal? It was everything. And I watched it 50 times just to hear her say that and do that look. It was so innocent. It wasn't a woman asking for anything other than my worth. Not to even put the brother down or make him feel like, well, you don't really have it and you're not really. It was just, can you take care of me, Bilal? It's almost like, when you do a business deal or something, you say, can we make this deal? Can we make this happen? You're not being threatening. You're just, can we do this? Like, do you have this investment? Can we, It was that. It was everything. But I need you to see more stuff like that and consume stuff like this, brothers and sisters, because I can't not speak in terms of my experience, my family, and my way of life as a Muslim. I couldn't imagine I'm with any woman that she has to pull her purse out, unless she's doing that on her own for some shit for herself that she wanted to do. That's not my business. That's her business and her right and what she wants to do as an individual, having her own arc experience from birth to death. Do you understand? But that doesn't change my responsibility. Where we're all missing the boat is we're not understanding the appointment of the woman on earth. She's not understanding it, and men are not understanding it. Men don't want to understand it because it doesn't serve their selfish interests. Not interested. I don't want to know that. No, I'm busy. I think I'm getting a phone call. Don't tell me stuff. It's a simple principle. And it used to be a time when I think brothers just felt bad if you couldn't, like, you're not calling a girl up and ask her out and you don't got no money. What that look like? I'll call you up and say you want to go out to dinner or a movie and you can't pay for it. No, you just don't call her because you can't do shit. You're done. That makes sense. That's perfect. You're right. Don't call her because you don't got shit to offer. There's other creative things you can do. Let's go take a walk in the park. You can get around the finance without even revealing it that you broke, and you just push her on the swing or something romantic, But there used to be a time when that was the case. The basic principle is this: women, girls are special. There's a whole chapter of the Quran called Nisa, the women. A whole chapter from the divine. Why is there an entire chapter just about the woman in this holy revelation? Why? Why? Seems she's kind of important. Damn it, turns out. But the proposition is simple. A woman, a girl. By the way, it's even forbidden in Islam. Because I guess in some cultures they bury little girls alive. There's some cultures that have more boys than girls, and they were over it, and so they'll bury your ass alive if you're born a girl. Allah, it's forbidden. There's even more blessing for you if you have a daughter and you raise her to majority age successfully and as a decent person. You will have more hasana and ejr and blessings in the afterlife. The divine has already told us. But and on top of that, Allah says that paradise lies at the feet of the woman and so forth. I mean, I could just give you a million of them. But if I'm my daughter's father, I watched her come out her mama. I shot her. You feel me? Because the man determines the sex of the child. That's my baby daughter. That's my baby girl forever. Here's some dude come along. I don't care what he got going on. It could have been Barack, I did. But I have clothed her. I have sheltered her. I have fed her. I have educated and taught her and taken care of her, protected her since her mama gave birth to her. Can you take care of my daughter? It's that simple. Will you continue now to clothe, feed, protect, shelter my daughter and show her kindness and happiness and all these things? Will you do that for my daughter? And that's what was in this sister's tone. She said, can you take care of people like? She's only asking for what she's enjoyed since she's been on earth. Oh, if not, then she can just go back to her father's house and sat her ass down. She doesn't need you. Doesn't need it. Don't need it. But you all have made this a thing where it's so complicated now, and like it's one of the reasons why I don't think I could ever be with a woman who was not Muslim, or she'd have to have a certain understanding if she's not Muslim, because that's so disappointing to me. I'm not dealing with that. I never have and I won't. That's not my world, and it has never been and it won't be. I don't need to understand that, because that's not righteous. It's not the right way. I don't need to. So why are so many women putting so much stock in people like this? And then when he passes away, I get all these texts from all over the country. Jedi, you have to talk about Kevin Samuels. For what? Why? That's what I wanted to send back to everybody. Well, why? Why? I mean, is it significant that he passed away? It's noteworthy. It's remarkable. But he wasn't, you know, a leader or I mean, what? Why? I'm stuck. It's, again, the only concern is just like for people that knew him personally and his family and stuff like that. I didn't know him. As a black man, it's sad to lose any of our people, male or female, you know. And, you know, you want everyone to have a long life. He was only 50 something. We're just going to find out. This would be a good place to go to this. Bitch. Okay. YouTuber. Personality, Kevin Samuels, known for controversial views on women, dies in Atlanta. A woman said he complained of chest pain before falling on top of her, according to the Atlanta Police Department. A woman said he complained before falling on top of her. Ironic. Like, the word ironic is very underused right here. Anyways, Kevin Samuels, a controversial YouTube personality known for his polarizing views on women and relationships, has died, police confirmed. In a report, the Atlanta Police Department said emergency services were called to Samuel's apartment Thursday morning. On arrival, a woman told police that Kevin complained. There's that last name stuff, by the way, you guys. That Samuels complained. Now, this is where you go, Mr. Samuels. So everybody was here on my last video about the subway shooter. Could not do that right then. But police said Samuels not Mr. Samuels, and he didn't shoot up nobody, but just Samuels, that I'm just call him Kevin, complained of chest pain and quote, fell on top of her, end quote, as she tried to help him. The woman, a nurse who met Kevin the day before and spent the night with him, called 911 and asked them to contact the building's front desk for a defibrillator, which is typically used in the event of cardiac arrest. Firefighters performing CPR while Kevin was unresponsive on the floor of his apartment, police said. He was later transported to Piedmont Hospital. Well, it didn't take him to Grady now. Samuel's mother, Beverly Samuels Birch, confirmed his death to NBC News. She said she learned her son had died from a post on social media. Related, TikTok creator's son dies after she shared his health battles with 1.7 followers. Well, TikTok, nobody black would have 1.7 million, so it's probably a white devil, and we don't care. All right, that was a terrible thing for social media to put that out. This is his mother speaking. I didn't even know. I hadn't even been notified. Samuels Birch. What's her first name again? Beverly. Told the outlet. Out of your love. All I'm doing is requesting that people pray for us. This is from People magazine. People's attempt to reach Beverly on Friday afternoon were unsuccessful. Rolling Stone reported Kevin's age as 56, and police confirmed his year of birth as 1965. Kevin had a large social media following, including more than 1.4 million subscribers on YouTube. 1.4 million, y'all ask this. For what? For what? That's what I need black women to tell me. For what? What was his thing? Why are you, the individual, drawn to this dude? For what? For what? For what? 1.4 million. There are more than 839 videos published on Kevin's YouTube channel, with many receiving hundreds of thousands of views, yet many have drawn the ire of critics. In a recent, look, they got to give you this star, John Kelly, Gentle Giant, who went viral with son, dies at 45, surprise to all, were on Kevin Samuels. In a recent video published in 27th April, Kevin said he believed, quote, modern women charge for submission, end quote. You see that type of language. Modern women charge for submission. Kiss my entire ass. Just so that you know, I'm consistent. I don't even deal with brothers that are like this to women. I can't, because I don't understand the shit, so I definitely don't understand you. And I can't be around brothers that this is their thing. Like, he would never have been my friend. Never. We can't. This is too a part of my way of thinking and being, so I could never be friends with you. Nah. But there's a quote. Modern women charge for submission. What the fuck does that mean? Every woman I've ever known in my life has always been kind and decent and gentle and funny, and I could just go down the list of things. Submission was nowhere on there. Not understanding. You know, I just don't get it. Because none of these motherfuckers got a kingdom or a fucking, industry or some shit, and they, they just need you to bow down. And like, you just a pissy ass nigga that don't got shit going on. Why can't you just somebody take the journey with you? Just take the journey. Why all of this? And what about that? What women want to hear? I ask you this now. Quote, submission is a trait of femininity, end quote, not understanding. Kevin told his viewers, quote, just like leadership and protection is a trait in masculinity. Really? Because you can just spin me around with a blindfold. bring 50 black women out of nowhere, and all I gotta do is say, tell me when y'all felt protected by the black man, and I will hear nothing but fucking crickets around me. So don't give me this protection bullshit. Don't. Don't. Don't do that. Don't. Just like leadership and protection, black men are not leading and you're not protecting. Because if you were leading and protecting, police brutality would be a relic in a fucking museum right now. Because we would have leveled fucking precincts across this bitch, and every police officer joining the force would know, don't come near fucking black people ever, or it's definite death. If we've been, what's the word? Leading and protecting. No leading and protecting going on from black men. So sorry. Not even at the highest level. Barack Obama, he did what he could, but he didn't lead the way that he could. Like, fuck 2 terms. Just get gangster. You feel me? And certainly if you got the 2nd term, that means you can't be reelected no way. So just go gangster. That would have been leading. You see? There is no leadership. There's no leadership. When black men go and we level in the middle of the night, Vietnamese nail salon, so our women can't run up in those bitches no more, and we open up one. When we're able to come together and put our money together to open up a fucking shopping center, irregardless of our economic status, we say, well, whatever you got, brother, we all just gonna put it in. We got to take care of this. You understand? That would be leading and protecting. So again, not understanding the value of a motherfucker like this. Just like leading and protection is a trait of masculinity. Well, then there's no masculinity going on. And all men that I know and see in the society are all walking around look like little fucking girly butterflies now. With their little flowers and little prints and and it's all fine. Not understanding the masculinity, the leadership, or the protection. But today, you get women saying you don't get their feminine submission without paying for it. Fine, ladies, how much do you charge? Listen, that woman can charge whatever the fuck she wants if she is sincere. If she's not running game and she's just an evil bitch, because there are some evil people out there, male and female. But that's for your dissertation. You know you got a good woman, then then she's a good woman. So she's not trying to take you, but whatever she utters, that's what she should have. That's it. And what are you doing that you're sitting on the coin anyway, if it's just the coin? What do you mean charge and price? Your time? Or are you only seeing relationships and give and take in financial terms? Because that's also a problem. I mean, this is why I don't understand. But, danger, TikTok challenges. Okay, that's a little black kid. Dad warns parents, 12-year son dies from blackout challenge, which was probably developed by fucking white people. Gotta move on. If you have made it to 35 and you're unmarried, you are a leftover woman. How about I went to get my doctorate and my graduate, and then because I'm whatever field I'm in, I have continued education, and I live in a certain part of the country, and I definitely want a black man, and all I see around me is white motherfuckers. I'm not really trying to engage, so life is still happening. So now I'm over 35. I'm unmarried, so fuck you. Like, I mean, this is very easy. This is not, we're not launching a space shuttle. But they utter things like this, and then you flock to it. Tell us more about how pathetic we are to proclaim ourselves women and dare to want to have a throne. Please tell us. You are a leftover woman, says this dude. You could almost allow it, the vomit. It'd still be vomit. But you could almost go, okay, I get the game, at least. If it's like me or Tyson Beckford or somebody that looks like us, something. I'm moving on, I'm reading. All right, Kevin said in another video, per NBC News, quote, "You are what is left. Men know that there is something likely wrong with you." No, that's a paranoid bitch. You understand? There's probably something wrong with her, man. She might want you to actually be a man and take care of her. Run, bruh. Is she a leftover? She wants stuff from men. You need to find you a woman that don't want shit. but to crawl around on her hands and knuckles and let you tell her what to do. That's what I hear. I'll just read because I mean I hear things. And people tell me stuff. That there's something like wrong with you. Kevin's channel included other polemical videos. I don't know that word. Polemical? Polemical. Included other polemical videos. Polemical. Not understanding. Polemical. Polemical. Relating to or involving strongly official or strongly critical. Relating to or involving strongly critical, controversial, or disputatious writing or speech. Included other polemical videos, such as, quote, women should let men use them, end quote. These people live in a fucking fantasy, dude. These dudes live in a fantasy. Again, I don't understand why women flock to people like this. That's when something's wrong with you. That's when something's wrong, not the other shit he was saying. This is when you flock to hear this shit. Modern women are average at best, end quote. And, quote, women love when men cheat. I can't. Well, yeah. You know, rest his soul in peace and all that. Because, like I said, I don't know what his, you know, what the rest of his life was. You know, I pray he was a good person. And, you know, that somehow he knew he had some sort of relationship with his maker, you know. But the vomit that he spewed and why he would be in People and any of these other white media is because they love that vomit. Anything that has the black woman doubting herself or something that a white bitch can latch her fucking decaying claws onto that makes her feel some type of way and shit. This is not rocket science, everybody. We're not launching a fucking space shuttle. Why are black people in general making the coming together of men and women so fucking difficult? Like as if it's a chemistry thing. You gotta put just the right amount of this and because it's, you know, come on. I don't understand this shit. And I jettison anybody from my life that comes with any bullshit or I see signs of it, you know. One of the first things I've always said to any of my girlfriends, I'm not fighting for you. That's to connote, if you one of them drama ass bitches that's looking for some shit, not gonna get it out of me. I will stand beside and watch her and eat fucking popcorn. Not fighting for you. What I mean by that is if you start some shit, you're gonna finish it. I'm ready to lay down my fucking life for you. Period. The end. But it's not gonna be over some bullshit that you started. Not doing that. Let's be very clear. You understand? So people that are into that sick-minded drama and shit, it's almost like this is right up there with people who like to get peed on or something. I mean, to me, it's that foreign. It's right up there with that. It has to be. It's right up there. 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 I don't know men that speak like that. You want to tell me you're one dude describing one relationship you have with one ass female? Then that's something different. Like, man, you need to leave her. Y'all got too many problems. But he's making this as a statement. And there are many men boys, grown ass boys, who agree with this. They want to reap the title and the reward of something they've not articulated. It's like, give me the gold medal, even though I didn't run around the track. Well, no, I get the medal. They're like, well, then go run the 200 meter. Well, I don't need to, because what is it? I gotta have the language. I lead and protect. I mean, men aren't trying to get by on anything but bullshit now. Nothing else. You know? Listen, here's something really simple, you guys, and beautiful. I was in probably 7th grade, 6th or 7th grade, and my grandmother used to ride the bus way out. We'd have to take 2 or 3 buses, actually, because I didn't get to transfer. But there was this old man that we used to go see. His name was Mr. Gay. I don't remember his first name. And I was too young. I wasn't even in puberty yet. Well, maybe I was. Was I? Because I have to think, because my grandmother, where she lived before when we lived in Arkansas and we came back. Anyway, I was young. And I just would hear them sometimes speaking on the phone. I just would know she's on the phone with Mr. Gay, you know. But I could feel the energy of it. Like it was, I just didn't know enough in my young mind, but I could feel the energy of it. You have to hear me now. I knew. And then when we would go, of course I'd go with her, because I'm not going to have my grandmother I can't. I was such a worry ward. I couldn't let my grandmother be nowhere without me. But, especially then, you know, like, nah. But I would cut, he had a fireplace at his house, so he would have me out chopping kindling. Like if I chopped it up, he'd give me a few dollars. But every time we went out there, he always gave my grandmother something for her, you know. I think they had just found, I don't know how she knew the dude or how she met him. I don't know. I liked him. He was a nice man, you know. But I also understood the respect that he had for my grandmother. And you know, it just felt right to my soul. So that's why any of this stuff, it's not right. It's manufactured and it's some bullshit. And it's just like, you know, because women have left a void of not asserting what is going to be acceptable and expected from them, then men have just started making up fucking ridiculous ass fucking, you know, shit, and telling you this is what you need to do. Excuse me, and you're a problem because you're this and the third. I never understand. Like I'm a man, and I don't accept disloyalty in anywhere in my life at all. You don't even got to be in a relationship with me. But there's no way you're fucking cheating on me, and I'm not over your ass that day. There's nothing else to talk about. Nothing. My fiance, 2.5 years we were together. Perfect 2.5 years. The bitch cheated. If I thought, if I didn't have to pull teeth when I confronted her about it, because I knew about it when I was told. But now I'm gonna bring it to her. So if she'd just been honest then, maybe we might have lasted. I don't know if that, I say maybe because you and I both enjoy the trust. It's like clean air, you know. Distrust is like a fart odor in the air suddenly that I know I gotta smell every fucking day. When I've been smelling fresh air up till now. Now suddenly this fart is in the air. I don't know if I want to live in that. And so many of you do. Men and women. No. That's the ultimate. That's the ultimate betrayal. I would at least respected you and still been cordial with you if you came to me and said, look, I think I seen somebody that was hotter than you. Or I'm just having a moment of lust and I just need to find out. We got to break up. Okay, so you're a fucking bitch and a whore, but go ahead and I respect you. You know, at least you gave me that. But I'm not taking you back. And I'm a man. Women are way more emotional than men. Why are you always taking niggas back? And then you ready to fight the other bitch. Your man went to this bitch of his own volition. He wasn't kidnapped. There was no gun to his head. There was no ransom note. He wasn't, levitated over and transported by light, And here you go. She's the problem. I never understand that. I can't. I just can't. Like, I hope she just fucking shoots your ass in the head and you just die right there. Not because you're man, you're mad at her man or whatever, but just because you're a dumb bitch. That your issue is with your man, not with her. Give a fuck. Even if she know that's your man, she still don't have no power unless your man allows some shit to happen. So it all still comes back to his bitch ass. And then niggas stand there, they fight. Y'all break it up. Like, I'm ready to run in and fight his bitch ass. Because they don't know how to. I'm ready to go in there and fucking take him out. Because it needs to happen. But that's what you're doing. I can't. Lastly, I'll say about it, so I can come to you and see who's here. Last thing I'll say about it is then you got men and women who they just not feeling content in a relationship unless there's drama. Wow. It's sick. If you're participating in this shit, you are sick. I'm telling you. You don't gotta like me. I'm not here for popularity. I don't give a fuck. You are sick-minded. How I'm gonna be a whole woman? A woman. But this is also why you're not even standing up and challenging these fake-ass men who are traipsing around talking about I'm a woman. You're not holding your throne at all. You're so busy trying to fight another bitch and out-compete another bitch that you're not protecting your home turf. So now these motherfuckers are traipsing in with their chiffon and shit on. I've said till I'm blue, black women, you got to get your bitch ass up on that fucking throne and you don't even look down. You don't get off of it and you don't come down for shit. But you just can't get there. Because you somehow think the bus is going to pass you by and I'm going to miss out and I can't. No, that's not the way it's going to be. You can have anything you want, any type of man that you desire, but you can't be in this fantasy housewives, bitch down the street. You got to be in just your own presence. Who am I? Who am I? And you got to sit with yourself and you got to be authentic and you got to be rational. Not this bullshit. I don't even know how to really speak to the issue because it's so ridiculous to me. I don't understand, man. And then this other term, then there's toxic masculinity. I mean, is somebody white feeding this to the community and then black people are spewing that? I mean, where's this shit coming from? Because we ain't got no think tanks. Or do we? You feel me? I mean, all this shit is bullshit, man. First of all, when you assert yourself as a man, women let you lead any fucking way. Women are never trying to stand in our fucking way. Even if you about to fight or something like that, a woman's gonna hold you back if she feel like the decision is wrong. But if she can see in your energy and your eyes, ain't not she gonna let you just go ahead, fuck it. I can't shit I can do. They can read us very well. But there's no issue with a man leading that bullshit. You feel me? So you can't say you want to lead and then tell the sister she got to pay half. Well, that's not really leading. You feel me? The pilot on a plane is the captain. That's the dude, El Capitan. He's good. You feel me? And he never says to the, well, you have to fly half this flight. That motherfucker's there in case or to take orders from. You feel me? I'm the captain. I have this. You feel me? Set the flaps at 35,000. Let's go. You know. So you're speaking with a double speak when you say that. Even, you know, it's just all out the window for me, man. I don't understand it. I don't need to. I don't need to. All I need to do is try to pull any men and women that will hear me back from the brink and wake you up out of this fucking haze that you're in and say, excuse you, you know? Because the power is within, you know. I've given you the analogy over the years of Dorothy, this bitch, or no, Glinda, the good witch, the bitch from The Wizard of Oz. The bitch should be up on charges. Like, that's just what it is. Oh, it did not switch over when I read the article? I don't want no talk about your back. Damn. She should be up on charges. God damn it. Child endangerment. You know what I'm saying? Endangering a minor and some other shit I could come up with. Exposing children to, you know, pedophiles. I mean, we can get into some charges because Dorothy went through a fucking witches chasing her ass, flying monkeys, and all kinds of bullshit. You know, she had to go through. I mean, she went through everything, and now she's trying to get home. It finally looks like she can get home. The fucking balloon takes off without her. Here, this bitch comes in a bubble yet again. Not a wrinkle in her dress, so that should have been suspect from the beginning. How you gonna float in a bubble and you don't get no wrinkle on your dress? I'm not really understanding. But then she gonna talk about you have the power all along. Like, we need to recast that movie and have like Lil Kim or somebody play, you know, like, this bitch just tell me I have the power all along, you know, like, it needs to be that. And it needs to be a throwdown on Glinda. Like, you could have just told me that when your bubble ass first came, bitch. Oh, you have the ruby slippers, but instead she told the bitch, there the ruby slippers are, and there they shall remain. I can't fuck her. Glinda. Oh, I'm over it. Kiana Urban, shout out to you, Queen. Talk to me if you're one of these people that listens to people like Kevin Samuels. I want to know about it. Black Beauty always. Shout out to you, Queen. Daisy, shout out to you. Hey, good evening, Jedi. Much love and power to you. Same to you, Daisy. Shiro, my queen. And Queen, listen, I've had flooding in my house. Y'all don't even know. Like, even yesterday and today, I've been hostage in my house waiting on a fucking plumber. I'm talking about like soppy carpet and everything. I don't want to get into it. But I'm just trying to say I have something very special for you, and I just have been dragging my ass to get to the fucking post office. That's it. Damn it. But I love you, and I'm so glad to see you. Yes, Kiara. Everybody do hit the thumbs up button. If you are watching me now, I'm live. Hit the thumbs up. You know. I'm telling you, I'm going to look up one day, and I'm going to be members only in this bitch, or a Patreon or some bullshit. You see? Like, why not just charge? If you can't get people to thumbs up, then they don't really believe in you. So you should just charge. At least if they paid money, you know they meant being there. They meant it. They meant it. You know. Righteous Indignation, shout out to you. Miss Gretson, shout out to you. Y'all not talking to me. I'm reading female names. I want answers. Kiara. KS Passing. Oh, Kevin Samuels. Y'all can't just hit me with an acronym and initials. passing is so sudden and random. I was honestly shocked. Yeah, like I said, it's a terrible thing that he passed. It is, but both things can remain. It's very sad that he passed, and God bless his mother. And I hate she had to find out the way she did, and all of that. And to people who knew him, his family, and this was still some bullshit. Not a contradiction. Anna Greenfield, welcome to Channel Talk Core something, the public for the. Okay, Anna, let's get rid of Anna. Moderators, please. That's an advertisement. I'm over it. For the eventuality of the decision, and they're speaking in code. Moderators, get rid of this, please, for me. J9, shout out to you, Queen. Shiro said he hated black women and girls, and I think there is some degree of that going on with both the brothers that date white bitches and those that don't date white bitches. They'll stay with dating black women, but they want to tear them the fuck down. The greatest things ever happened to me in my life has been black women. Do you understand? I've come through life, everybody. I've lived all across this country. I've had all kinds of experiences and things and just life that I've lived. And it's so much that it just couldn't happen if it just wasn't for our women. Just couldn't have happened. Wouldn't have happened. Wouldn't have. You understand? So this is why this is also very foreign to me. And why can't you just communicate? Why all this requisite stuff? Like the vomit I was just reading from this dude. What did he say? I can't even read it right now. Let's get into see who's here. But it's just, what is that? That's doctrine. It's doctrine. It's doctrine. It's beyond just understanding you and me. Is doctrine. It's setting up a whole virtual world, if you will, of atmospherics, conclusions, and scenarios that are inauthentic, unnecessary, dangerous, unproductive, unrealistic. That's just the beginning of the list, at least. So yes, there's some hatred of black women going on some kind of way. And then also intimidation by black women, because, sadly, there's brothers out there. This don't compromise your fucking throne, dumbass Negro. If a woman is more successful than you, give a fuck. That has nothing to do with us taking the journey in life. Nothing at all. Doesn't compromise my responsibility to you, my desire to take care of you. That's it. So what? So what? So what? I could be with Oprah tomorrow, and she wants me. But I could be with Oprah tomorrow. Oprah has an intellect that I like. She has a sense of righteousness that I like. She has a humor that I like. She's beautiful. She's chocolate. I mean, there's so many things about just like Oprah that I like. So she's worth $1 billion. I'm not. As long as she understands, I can't give you a $15,000 fucking purse to take to Tina Turner's wedding. Then we good. Now, that doesn't mean I don't do every fucking thing I can do. And I don't need to have, and she doesn't need to give me her $7 billion. I still can do whatever I need to do. And it still doesn't interfere with us being able to take, you want to take this walk? Let's go. Let's go. We're taking this walk. Let's go. We're doing it. Me and you. Let's go. Doesn't matter. And all the powerful people that she knows and all that. So what? So what? That don't have nothing to do with me and her. I'm intimidated by that now. And until she shows me or does something that I realize I can't trust her, then I trust her and I don't lose any sleep over it. It's very easy. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. But you're dealing with fragile ass Negroes who don't know how to be men to begin with. Like, what I really want to know from a Kevin Samuels or anybody like him, what's your family structure? What's your relationship with your father? Tell me tell me your life. How'd you grow up? Talk to me. Tell me. All right. What? Because where did this come from? Tell me about your relationships from your very first one to right now when I meet your techie ass. Tell me. You see, I want to know this. But they appear and they are suddenly the professor, they everything, you know. Kiara, you say ironic as hell. Betsy, yay, I caught alive. Shout, shout out to you, Betsy. Um, um, Kiara, you say, I have never followed that man. He actually disgusted me when I ran into that one clip. You go on to say, but I feel it's ironic. He's been berating black women all this time, saying we are gonna die alone. Yeah, I've heard that. I forgot about that. I've heard that from him. I feel like I saw him tell somebody that. And then he croaks alone somewhere. I wish I didn't interrupt it. I'd read it so we get it. But I feel it's ironic. He's been berating black women all this time, saying we're going to die alone, and then he croaks alone somewhere. Men, that part had me like, whoa. Yeah, that's very ironic and glaring, and I didn't see that irony. Thank you for highlighting that for us, Kiara, because that is the damn truth. Funny you died alone, and a nurse had to let us know. Again, I don't, Miss Matthews, good evening. Shout out to you, Queen. Good to see you. Portia Snelling, shout out to you. You say good evening, Jedi. Never followed Kevin Samuels. I heard he said a lot of negative things about black women. I only follow you and other black men who have positive things to say about black women. Absolutely. And as I said, I want to be consistent. Listen, there's a place to criticize. Anything that you love, you got to tell it the truth. And so if there's some bad, you got to hold the learning mirror. So is there a way to critique, to scold even our women and our men for bad behavior or things that are just bullshit? Absolutely. But that's for the purpose of so you can make change. It's for your good, for you. So you can be better. But these people come with something so that you can serve me. You need to be X, Y, and Z for me. Fuck that. Shiro. Kitten in Heels said on one of his lives, if that is that really the person named Kitten in Heels? Kitten in Heels. I'm so over that. That's a movie. Said Kitten in Heels said, I'm over it. On one of his lives that if your daughter comes and tells you that the mother's boyfriend has violated her, do not believe your daughter. He was completely disgusting, evil. Wow. I mean, there's a cult of dudes. Not gonna call them brothers, not gonna call them men. Dudes. That I noticed, like I said, when I came to YouTube, and now I realize it's a cult of dudes who they get off on this thing like like this dude, you know, like I don't know. I can't even. I don't speak like this, and I don't think any of this shit. So it's hard for me to even. Um, I don't know. Hopefully the words will form for me. I just don't have it. I just don't have it. Kiara. That's to Shiro. Shiro. Which black women? Let me help y'all. Um, Shiro. Wish black women and girls death. No loss here. Just was curious your thoughts, but I'm over it. Oh, that's to Kiara. Yes, Kiara. I don't know. I don't know how much of that was just for Kiara. Uh, Rina, Rina or Rina Israel. Truth hurts is why lies and liars are loved and start occults. Interesting. Hmm. There's something to that. Um, Africa King. Walaikum salam. Um, Miss Matthews, Jedi. We weren't subbed to Kevin. He, we heard that he was likely paid to denigrate black women. I can go with that. Well, and remember, even if he wasn't paid directly, he eventually got paid. Because with 1 point something million subscribers, you're kind of paid on YouTube. You just are. I can tell you that I learned this from this African sister when I was on one of my frequent tangents. But this was years ago when I first started researching Africa. This one African YouTuber chick, she had a video that went viral. At the time she was telling us, it was over 2 million. It was over 2 million, but at the time she made the video, it was at 1 million. Her check was $36,000, bitch. 36 grand. So you take somebody like him, come on, he was making some money, dude. So essentially, even if they weren't like, here, we'll pay you to do this, it came to that, and he eventually got paid, you know. Um, and which shows you can have a full career denigrating fucking black women, but you come on here and tell the truth about this white devil, then they shut up and your channel gets shut down and you can't go on and all the, I mean, you started, don't do it. But you said that he was likely paid to disappear. We heard that he was likely paid to disparage black women daily. What made that probable? He never dissed a Korean, never. Thus, we knew not to tune in to his weary words. And those are the real sisters out there. You feel me? You want to tell me you watch 1 or 2 of his episodes to just get a feel of the vomit that he was spewing? That's fine. That's education. Just so you know that that bullshit is out there. But all this following Kevin Samuels and oh my God, and giving anything he has to say any credence, kiss my entire ass. Because if that's the case, what they never have, any of these fuckers, they never have they woman sitting right next to him saying, yeah, girl, he's right. Haven't seen it. Just haven't seen it. Have not seen it. Have not seen it. Um, Rena Israel. Only a damn fool hates to be corrected. That's the truth. That's the truth. If you're someone who loves knowledge, then you want to be wrong so that now I get to fix that and I get to learn something else. I won't be wrong on that again. You know, one of the things that discouraged my siblings about me, they was like, you always think you're right. Well, show me where I'm wrong. I don't think I'm right. Just find fault with where I'm wrong. So you're saying I'm right. That's your issue, not mine. Shiro, yes, Miss Matthews, perfectly explained. Lyric or link to Portia Snelling. I think Portia Snelling, he gave constructive and black women to get up to see where we have dropped the ball. That wasn't his thrust. Just sorry, Link. I don't think that was his. Just not thinking. I just don't think that's where he was going or coming from. Because it's a whole different thing. Miss Matthews, I'd rather take advice on relationships from Debbie Allen. She's been with her husband for eons. That's the truth. Not to mention her ass don't age. And 2 seconds into her saying anything, she got to say honey. I love Debbie Allen. I do. She's so underrated. She's such a force. And, you know, man, she's, wow, that's a sister. She's really something. Patient. She's amazing. Dedicated. Tenacious. I could just go on. Debbie Allen is everything on her. Miss Matthews, designer duds. Yes, high value being quality spirit. Kiata, right. I feel like I've gotten some pretty good constructive advice from the Jedi. And then that fool, LOL. Cheryl Bryant, shout out to you, Queen. Miss Matthews, self-contained, self-reliant. But listen, that's when you're by yourself. Be self-contained and self-reliant. That's any human being. I'm in the desert by myself. I'm self-contained, self-reliant. Here I am. You feel me? But when you're with someone else, then certainly as a woman, you should be able to relax. Let me pull off this a little bit. Let me just relax. You feel me? You good. But if you are still used to being self-contained and reliant, self-reliant, then no man should be threatened by that. As long as you're still making space for him. If I'm part of your self-reliance and you're self-contained and self-reliant, then I'm good. And what does that look like if you're self-contained, self-reliant, but you're with someone? I'm off on the weekend. Maybe you're working a double or some shit. I iron your outfit before you wake up. I got your towels in the bathroom for you. Am I wrong? I mean, that's just, I don't think anybody's going to reject that, so it's not realistic. And there's nothing wrong with any human being, any African person being self-reliant, including our women, It's just that usually that's taken as, I don't need a man. And what does that mean? You do need a man. And men need a woman. Because forget the bullshit. I need you to reproduce my seed. You need me to fertilize that egg. That's just what it is. Y'all gonna have to get together on this. This is going to be a board meeting. You understand? The other bullshit is just, many other cultures, this is why you would frown on arranged marriages, but this is why there's arranged marriages in other cultures. They're like, fuck that love bullshit. We like her parents, we like her father, they have shit going on. They've taught that to her, blah blah blah. You're marrying that person. That do it. Because maybe love will happen. One of my Muslim brothers, he's from Bangladesh. Wahid. His parents arranged a marriage for him. And I cried. I was so happy for him. Because Wahid is such a good human being. You can't not be enchanted by his goodness and his kindness. And I was just so happy for him, but I'm so happy for her. It's everything, man. And I asked him, I said, do you like her? He said, I'm so fortunate, brother. I do really like her. I just said, Alhamdulillah, man. Allahu Akbar, But they're not concerned about this mushy love thing. It's like, y'all need to be together. You need to get married. So just make that fucking shit happen and work it out. I know a brother that I used to, in fact, those paintings that I showed you guys, I have one of Bob Marley and the other one is of Jimi Hendrix. Why is my eye watering? This brother, he's from India. His name is Anand. He even signed the paintings. And he and his wife just coexist together. He supports her. She wants to do something. He helps her open her business and things like that. It really is more of a partnership than a marriage. But because they understand that you should be married. And maybe you get love and all that mushy and all that shit, and maybe you don't. It's one of those things. When I look at Ao and Tony that are in Ghana, I see two people. She's so perfect for him, and he's just the right dude for her. Because he's a typical dude. I hate to say that because, men can be very dynamic, But he's stereotypical, we'll say, He drinks beer, he does construction, he's from Texas. Not really sophisticated, smart man, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, like, Ao handles everything. She's the buy the bullets, budget, this is how we organize our life and do our shit. That's perfect. Because women are better at multitasking anyway. They just are. Whether they use the skill or not, they have it. They have it. They have it. And so that's perfect, And you can just, I could just go on. But I'm just trying to say, that's just one example of something that's very simple and easy. They may have told the story how they met. I don't remember it. Or I don't remember seeing it. But that's perfect. That's perfect. She gives him his space, and he gives her space. Because they don't say it, but I've heard it in the things that they've said. You get things from people's conversation. Oh, Adrienne Bailon, who I love, y'all know this. She, even over my wife, Janet Jackson, Adrienne Bailon was a revelation for me. I didn't know her in her singing career, although she's an amazing singer. Really good. Wow. Like, I'm not one of these Cheetah Girl people. I didn't know what the Cheetah Girls were. I don't know if it was still alive when it was, just whatever. But when I knew she was a singer, then I wanted to know, well, what did she sing? And there's this Cheetah Girl song. I don't know the name of it. But Adrienne Bailon has the intro. No matter where we come from. It sends chills through you. You're like, what? And she's like this tall and this little. And she sings like that. She's amazing. But that's something else. I'm trying to get to every time when the reel started airing and I knew of it, she was a revelation. Every time she would speak, it's what I would think and say. Okay, then they do that. Well, I would such and such. I'm like, what? So I just started saying, well, I started telling my sister, I was like, Adrian is the female me. That's it. She thinks like me. She's me. That's me. You know. Very rarely do I part sticks with her at all in anything ever. You know, I even follow her on YouTube, and I mention her in this context now because even her dating, the things that she's let out, is the same philosophy I have. No drama ass relationships, no problem walking away from people. You're toxic. I don't need to see it again. I'm good. I'm out. And be really whole and good. And looks aren't everything, you know. She's also someone who's very beautiful, but it's not wrapped up in her beauty, never represents herself on her beauty at all. And then she ends up with Israel, her husband now, because of the person that he is. She knows she wants somebody that gets her, that's her best friend, that they would love each other no matter what if they weren't husband and wife. All of it. But here's something else that she said that really just like struck the iron for me, and I'm like, we are so fucking related. It was, I think, on her YouTube channel. It might have been on the Reel too, because sometimes she says stuff on the Reel and she said it on her YouTube channel. But this is something that I am. You got to be okay with me just having me time to do nothing. Sometimes she just takes herself to the movie, goes out to lunch by herself. It's just herself. This is a human being that understands the journey. That's everything. And has a husband who gets it. She's a person. She's just being a person. She's got to do her arc of life. That's no threat to our relationship. No threat to our marriage. No threat to me as a human being. What I'm trying to do is just Adrian's taking her own time. Sometimes you do just want to I don't know why. I don't want you and the kids with me. I'm going to the movies. You go to the movie. Whatever. But to have that maturity to understand that and where that comes from and why that would be and why that's okay is something else that a lot of people just can't get, I think, you know. But I get it, man. I get it. I totally get it. I gotta have my time for me. Just me. Nobody else. Just me. Whatever I want to do. I just may want to just lay in bed and look at TV all day. Maybe I'm doing a crossword puzzle. I don't know. I just know that I want to be with my own self. That's all. That's it. That's it. There's so much more to develop in relationships and things like that than all this drama that people like this dude are putting across the earth, you know, upon our people. You know, it's unnecessary. It's unfounded. We're in crisis. Let us all remember. So it also ignores the fact that we're at war as a people and are in crisis as a people. That you need to cling to the very first woman that will have you and be on your fucking way and stop bitching and complaining. You understand? But because I really don't think men are complicated, and I don't think that women are complicated the way that people say. That's not my experience. That's not my observation. I don't believe it. I don't accept it. I don't need to. Do you understand? I don't need to. I think people make simple shit complicated. You know? You know, there can be variables. So let's say you're a dude that you meet a woman and she's because I've seen this a lot, especially big in entertainment. I've seen women that they really enjoy being around guys that are that, you know. That's why so many of these stars, that's why Jennifer Lopez is going in a circle like this. Now she's back to fucking Ben Affleck. For what, bitch? It didn't work the first time. What are we doing? You know? And it's also the curse of life. The law of the universe. You will be, Jennifer Lopez, you will be beautiful. You will kind of be able to hold a tune. Not so much, you're not Celine Dion. You will be able to dance. You'll be an actress. You will have major wealth and beautiful children, but you will not be successful at love. It will not happen. It not allowed. Not allowed. Not allowed. So she's just spinning her tail and marching in circles, and she should just give it up. And I'm seeing Uncle. He's doing a lot of moving around at random times now. Not understanding. Anyway, so you do come across women where they're in just a different world, but that's up to that man to recognize, that's not my world. I can't. She's used to something that's not part of what I'm used to. So move away. Too many guys want to now try and make that part of his world. You feel me? Well, I'm still, no, just know when you're out of your fucking pond and go get back in your pond and find fish that swim there. That's fine. You see? The same thing can be true for men. So, but why I mentioned Jennifer Lopez is because kind of when she can't, I don't know if she could just be with the dude that worked at Taco Bell or Walmart, or she might be able to be with the dude that has a construction company. It would have to probably be very namey and very successful and does things in Italy or something. But some things just kind of prime a person, male or female, to a certain, you just kind of get used to certain things, and they don't have the intellectual property to be able to switch lanes out of that, to switch out of that to something else, So I think that happens too. You're out of a woman's league, and then but you want. Listen, this is how cognizant I am of shit like this. I was in my early 20s, and a buddy of mine, I don't remember how we became friends. And usually my friends are older than me anyway. But here I thought somebody that was my contemporary, we hung out, we had a great time. And then I had occasion to be at Greg's house for the first time. And you cannot walk into his house and not be struck. I love hardwood floors, and this was hardwood throughout, up the stairs, all of it. It was fantastic. But it began to dawn on me as a young person, you got life to live, man. Then he was saying something he had, and he was like, yeah, when me and some homies went to Africa. Ooh, I'm like, Africa? I gotta live. I haven't lived. You got more you gotta do, man. That's what I got from that experience. Just like, man, there's a lot more I gotta do. Like, I'm so not grown yet. It was just like, kind of gave me a snapshot of my true elevation, like you thought you was at 15,000, you only about 100 feet up on me. And that's what I'm trying to express in this, to say that sometimes people don't realize that. And stop going with this because you saw somebody that was love. Fuck that. I'm so sick of that I could just burn my hair off right now. Like, nah. Forget that. And stop looking for fucking love. Stop it, because you don't find love. Love finds you, because it'll test you first, or you will realize it. Realize. Identify. You understand? You don't go looking for it and you don't find it. That's one of the many attributes of love. So stop that. And stop trying to say that you fell in love with some dude when you seen him, or you fell in love with some sister when you seen her. You didn't. You saw somebody that looked nice, you were attracted. Anything gets a second glance. It could be a fucking building. Nothing special. It just looked amazing. That's all. Something about it was interesting. That's all it was. Stop identifying shit as more than what it really is. That's all it was. You saw a nice building. That's it. That's it. So when you tell the story later, don't say, I fell in love at first. Don't say, I saw her and she caught my eye. It's like Barack said to no-neck Roland Martin after Barack was first elected. And Roland Martin asked the dumb fucking dumbest fucking question ever known in journalism in all of history, and we checked and they all told me. Said, now, your wife Michelle, why was it important to you to marry a black woman? Why would I ever say that to another black man that I'm talking to? So he should have been punched then. I don't understand why his house wasn't firebombed, but I digress. And this was Barack's answer. Have you seen my wife? It summed up everything, her aesthetic and her what do you say, what you contain, like her substance, you know, her aesthetic and her substance, all of it. Have you seen my wife? That was the one. That's the answer. That was it. And they moved on to something else. It was that we're done. You know, it was brilliant. I don't know what made me get off on the tangent. I'm trying to get through your comments. All right. But I'll come back to that. Okay, I read that. Self-contained and reliant. I think that's where I went on my tangent. Sweet D, shout out to you, Queen. Blessings, brother Jedi. Blessings back at you, Sweet D. Shiro to Cheryl. Rina says, high value to me means quality of life, period. But that should be spoken in separate terms. As a way of, not as a who as, you know. Because you can be from south side of Chicago or goddamn Compton or someplace, you know, and be ghetto fabulous. You're suddenly driving Bentleys and, you know, you're wearing whoever and all that stuff. But you say means quality of life. There's nothing wrong with having a certain quality of life if that's what you want. Man or female. So if you a woman or a man and you want something, you want to live in Hollywood Hills or Beverly Hills or something, then you should be hanging out on a rodeo and shit and being seen by people that live in those fucking areas, or get your game up so that you can buy a fucking house and live there yourself. Whatever it is, that shouldn't have anything to do with your relationship. You understand? If two people are trying to make a journey, then the material shit is an addition to or separate and apart from what we are doing. We're taking a journey. I don't really give a fuck if you're high value. You understand? Whatever that means. So, like, I'm not a materialistic person. So if I had money, real money, you still wouldn't catch me flossing at all. I don't do that. I'm not interested. I buy you a bunch of shit if that's what you're into, because I love doing stuff for other people. But I'm not interested. So you can be in all your fucking Givenchy and all the shit, and I got some shit on Payless. This shirt I'm wearing, I've had this since 2000 and at least 2003 or 4, and the jewelry and everything is still on it. Everything, it's still there. This shirt holds up better than a fucking iceberg. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Like, this is the dude I am. I'm not interested in anything. I'm not. The shit that matters to me is not shit that I'm ever gonna buy or wear or possess. You just gotta have your fucking priorities in line, man, in life at all before you get to relationship. Just you, the individual, do you have your shit lined up properly in here? What's important? What matters? Have you triaged the shit that's important in life? Miss Matthews, I don't know what MO is. Can y'all just type stuff out so I don't sit and try and figure out what acronym or what initial I don't know what that means. But it's so poison. Polished in a genuine way. They envied her so much they took to lying on her. No idea who we're talking about. Moving on. Tom Cruise said similar to Oprah in an interview once that he didn't want to be the center of anyone's universe. That's 100% wise, even though I'm not a fan of Tom Cruise and he should die off. He's not dead yet. We've not gotten word he died. All right, let me know. Keep on it though. Keep on it. But those are wise words, you know. I want to be in your world and celebrate your existence as you celebrate mine. But I want you. We can make happy moments together and great things like that. But you need to be whole when you come to me. You need to be happy already and overjoyed, you know. But seeking something, you know, and just nah, you know. It's always beautiful if you have, like, let's say, if you know, you marry someone and she's a teacher, you know, oh, that's wow, you know, my wife teaches at Yale or some shit. Well, that's, you know, she's educated in the field of some shit you never studied and can't know. That's a beautiful thing, you know. My wife can come home and she can teach me stuff, you know. But that doesn't mean I don't have any intellectual value because I'm not a professor at Yale, because I know some shit she don't know. Feel me? She's book smart. I'm from Southside Chicago. What? You understand? Another thing, by the way, that made Barack and Michelle so perfect, because she has that grit, street, Southside Chicago, but Princeton, Harvard at the same time. So I can be bougie with you, and I can also cut your ass at the same time. It's perfect. First inauguration, when her alma mater went by, they was doing all step. All that you could tell Michelle was almost went into it. Catch yourself. Wait, I'm first lady. Don't do it. That can't do it, Michelle. Don't do it. She's ready to get into the snot. She's ready to do the routine, y'all. She's ready to do the routine. Miss Matthews, I would gather it can be draining to be someone's world. Yeah, like draining. Rena, Israel, Joseph rose to second in command in his captivity. Your true value will precede you. Wise words, Rena. I'm not really familiar with your name, but I love the wisdom. And Yusuf is one of my favorite prophets in history of all time. I love the story of Yusuf. And but then he was in full command uh, before it was all said and done, because when he became king, something y'all need to learn, like this difference between kings and pharaohs, because they're replacing this kings with this word pharaoh, and it's a few things, but that's not what we're discussing. And because when his brothers came there, remember, he showed compassion. They didn't even know it was him, you know, and proving that he was a black man. Also, that's something else, but must be stated at all times. And but yeah, you know, your true value, your predestination is what can precede you. It's your finding your way to you say your true value, and I say your predestination. Same thing, you know, really. Your purpose, finding it, centering in on it, you know. One of the things that we're supposed to do in this journey. Okay, looks like somebody got rid of a white devil. Thank you, Shiro. Kiara is testifying to something I said. That's why I hate I don't read these in real time sometimes, like as I'm speaking, but I'll get off my flow if I start reading. Shiro, you say king because you're a rare find and a man. That's why I texted you about the kitten in heels. I'm mad you actually put a fucking high heel right there too. Most black males hate black women and blame black women for being single parents as if women impregnated themselves. I know. Yeah, that also slays me into if not into my grave, at least into the ICU, to be pronounced dead, because that's the other thing that I saw with this cultic culture that I began to understand existed, was this black women are the cause of everything. Everything's their fault. I thought, fuck you, that's not my experience, bitch. You need to set your ass down. Um, Allison Bleb, shout out to you. Um, Thank you. I appreciate that. Just wanted to say hi. Kiara, let get those likes up, family. Yeah, everybody, come on. I mean, I don't know what they look like right now, but damn it. Let me look. Okay, I can live with that. Um, Shiro. Yeah, you're right, Jedi. I dated a dude that had the head size of Herman Munster. LOL, I still don't know how that happened. Sometimes not. Luckily, I can say luckily all of my girlfriends have been very beautiful women, but one of my girlfriends, her girl wasn't really fucked up. It just she needed braces because they were some of her teeth either might have been on just the bottom or just I can't remember, but they were staggered like in front and behind, in front and behind. It wasn't like she didn't have teeth. They were white and all that, and now she has the perfect fucking teeth, you know. But other than that, she was the baddest bitch in the room anywhere we went. Like that's what it was. They hated to see me coming. Damn it. You know, because my woman's about to put everybody in there to shame. It's over. Y'all should just leave. I wasn't thinking that, but apparently they were. You know, I'm into her. We're together, and that's all. That's as far it goes for me. But you see, other people started signing their own shit. You know, so whatever. Um, Allison Bleb, you're right. I want to try a real catfish. Yeah, I've had it. That's why I like it because growing up, certainly in Chicago. In fact, one of the videos I did on my Jedi Africa channel, I take you guys from where the first place I remember living, um, and I take you down the street because I remember that they used to go to the lake down there, and because there's a park, and somebody had a station wagon with the door that opened like this, you know, in the back. And I just knew when that session, that's where they put all the fishing poles, and when they go on fishing, and my grandmother would have had it and all the stuff. And when they came back, it was goodness, man. I went down there a couple times with them, but I was just a stinker, and I probably was playing, and I don't, you know, I wasn't fishing. But that taste and smell are memory. They are, they are, they are. And catfish has a very distinct taste and texture. You know, it's delicious, man. Last time I had real catfish. When I first came back out here to California, the place I was living, there was a brother that, well, there was 3 buildings that made up our complex. He lived in the second building. We probably met at the mailbox or some bullshit. But somehow I learned he went fishing. And I just respected the fact that he was serious about fishing, you know. And I just said, you know, well, man, you know, if you catch any catfish, you definitely bring me some, you know. Just talking. Don't you know, he came back, and whenever I went over to get the fish, it was a bag. I just thought, man, I got a bunch of fish, though. I just put it in my freezer. I never looked at it, just put it in my freezer. A couple of days later, something else. I thought some of that catfish and fix it. It was one big ass fish. One. One. Just one. Oh my God, it was huge. And so I cleaned him, I cut the head, and then I cut it in the steaks. And I just said, let me just fry one and just see. Because I was like, I'm going to have to fry up some for him and give him some to say thanks, you know. I took one bite out of that fish. I'm like, oh no, if anybody... I don't know if anybody will get any of this. It was so good. When you have good catfish, you don't forget that. You don't forget it. You're not forgetting that. Not forgetting. Um, Allison, you go on Jedi. Would you have seen my? You should have seen my garden. I also got all my meat from local farmers. The eggs are something different. The taste, the red yolk, everything is better from someone who grew it indeed. Am I reading the right thing, y'all? Because I'm very good for being on the wrong fucking comments. Yeah, this is this stream right now. Yes. Uh, that's 100% true, man. Sweet D, you say 90 Day Fiance is my show. But be careful, D. As long as you watch it with the understanding that that is a seduction of all it is, it shouldn't be called 90 Day Fiance. It should just be called white people preying, ugly ass fucking rejected ass white people preying on good looking black people and other people who have some color to them. That's all it is. That's all it is. You're gonna tell me this African dude, I forget his name now. I forget what country he's from. Came here for some fat bitch in fucking, I don't know where the fat bitch live at, on a farm and all of it. Didn't want him to see his son. You know what? I think we should have a date night. I would have. That's a dead bitch right there. That's a dead bitch. Dead bitch. Done. Dead bitch. You understand? Don't get me started. Like I can't. It's good for entertainment value, but if you can also see the evil and not be sucked into it. You feel me? And what it really is, it's a promoting of non-black on black relationships, and also promoting rejected, undesirable ass fucking white people. And this, you just saw this one collapse on its own in front of you. I can't keep bracelets, man. I just can't. They eventually just turn on me. Anyway, I can't read this, but damn it, I'm gonna try. Anyway, that's all it is. You know, people that are not are trying to upgrade like on a fly, or like, you know, some shit like you otherwise wouldn't be entitled to, but for the fact this person's from another fucking country, because nobody in this bitch would want your fat nasty ass bitch. You know, you're not letting him see a son, but on one hand you're going to be offended when he comes here and he just says naturally from his soul, because he doesn't, because most people outside of this bitch that aren't white don't know how to be fake. So he just said, I'm so glad to see her, she's put on some weight, but it's so, and she immediately was like like as if he's the problem. No, you're a fat bitch now. You're not the same bitch I met when I met you in China. So you're a fat bitch, and so you should be okay with that. And if you don't like me saying it, then go and lose some weight or push away from the table. I don't know what to tell you, but the truth is what it is. You know, you want me to join some fantasy that's not real. Oh, don't get me started on my dating fiance. I'm going up. I'm getting worked up. I'm getting worked up. Evelyn, salam alaikum, wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear Jedi, I still need to finish your last line, laughing out loud. Finals have me tired. Wow, man. Much respect to you. Much respect, because you know people don't really. I like my stepmom was a teacher, and you know we've all been students. Whether you're a teacher or a student, for me, once I was done with school, I was done. So anybody that is a teacher or has to be involved with school in any way, even if you're just somebody that's going back for a late degree or some whatever it is, God love you. Because it's just, I can't. But pace yourself, my sister. Don't let it overwhelm you. And um, I'm wishing you all the best. Andrea Smith, shout out to you, Queen. CJ Stevenson, shout out to you. He was nothing. He was nothing to speak of. Sorry to that man's family. Yeah, you know, we can still critique the work. It was some bullshit, and still hate that he passed. You know, it's still very tragic. Sweet D, you say I heard Kevin was at a motel. Well, they didn't indicate that in the article that we read. He was at his apartment. Um, and Miss Christie, shout out to you. I was never interested in his messages. Um, Sweet D, I also heard he was a cancer survivor. Well, depending on how you look at it, I'm a cancer survivor because I've shared with you guys that back in 2000, my father passed away in 2009. He had prostate cancer. He had it for 15 years. That was 2009 he died. 2010, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. But just a couple weeks or so after being diagnosed, I had taken a trip back east, and that's when I got injured. Now I'm in a wheelchair for a year. I can't deal with that, you know. And wallahi, when I would be in bed, because you know you got cast, I got to transfer to the wheelchair. I can't walk, can't do nothing. And so when I'd be in bed at night, when I'm just talking to God, you know, I just talk to God till I go to sleep. I don't know when I would fall asleep because I'd just be talking to God. But I kept saying every single day, I kept saying, I don't know why I would say this along with my prayers. I would just be like, I can't do this, I can't. And then it would always end in, let there be nothing, let there be nothing. I don't, that just kept coming out of me, let there be nothing. Let there be nothing, like, you know. So fast forward, you know, nearly a year, and I'm done now. And well, I'm in physical therapy now, trying to learn to walk again, all this. And now it's time I got to confront this. So I wanted another opinion, and I went to another urologist. And long story short, when he called me to give me those biopsy results, um, he said we found nothing. I said, can you say that again, doctor? He said, we found nothing. I said, can you just say it again? He said, we found. I must do that 10 times. Can you just say it again? Can you just say it again? Can you just say it again? So, you know, maybe he was, and they said he was 50, whatever. And you know, black men, if you brothers understand my voice, you go and get the finger put in your booty hole. That's just the fact of it, because the P, PSA test is not enough. Blood is one thing, but you gotta feel that prostate. You gotta feel it. They have to feel it. The test is prostate specific antigen. That's what it means. But they still need to do the index test because it's a slow moving cancer, but a lot of men die from it because you don't get it diagnosed and you're not doing anything and you didn't go get it checked, and you could have done something early, and it's like, it's a whole thing, man. So he was 50 something. He's a black man. That wouldn't be outside the realm of possibility that he could have been a cancer survivor. Angeline R, shout out to you. Black men was drawn to that dude. The occultic type, I agree with that. Along with the you know, some of the women, but yes, there was men as well, absolutely. And you bring a good point. I don't think I really gave the impression that there was men really. So, but I do need to say that yes, of course there was brothers because they believe in that bullshit, you know. And I'm over it. Uh, oh, give me that. Kiara and Evelyn testifying to something I've said. CJ, you say right. This man was leading other delusional, weak men. Indeed. I brought you guys this one video. The brother, he was on top. Man, they trying to take our money, man. Man, they trying to take our, like as if there was this ultra conspiracy by women to take down men. You know, you don't got shit, dude. Trust me, the women are not after your shit, not yours. Just you, not yours. I mean, I can't. Okay, lost my place. Anjane 23, shout out to you. I'm so glad you're here. Shiro, this article should have only read black women, not women. He was speaking about black women only, indeed. And as I've been consistent to point out to my audience, there's no other culture that does this. There's nobody else. There are billions of videos on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, billions of videos and work that people have put out. There are no other people anywhere on this place we call Earth that put out a whole curriculum complaining about their women except for fake ass black dudes. You're immediately not a man or a leader or a fucking provider if you're airing your women out like you're. So if you feel, then you're supposed to go and correct what's going on with the women. Fix it. Sit down and talk about what the issue is. You're airing this shit out there for fucking clicks and views. Fuck you. Nah. Everybody wants the credit without the work. Every dude wants to be declared a man because they think they just age into it and they're just going to get the credit and shit. But you still want to act like a dumbass and a little boy. Not having it. Not having it. Kiara, all he did was pin men against women. Oh, to be loved, even a Shaitani regime. Damn. That's what I'm getting from just his quote. And you know, I'm one of these people, like, I hate these people that can cry and their eyes don't turn red and they don't see their face. I cry and my face changes. If I yawn, my eyes water. Like, who are these people that can fucking yawn and your eyes don't water? They have to be killed off now. Damn it. So much work, so little time. Just can't get to everybody. She wrote to Anjane, these men are praising him like he is God. Yeah. And they're having him on every show and he has to be on everything. And it's like, for what? Because I'm sure he wouldn't come on a little lowly platform like mine. Certainly back when I had my 23,000, maybe I would have been big enough for him to come on my fucking platform. But I would love to sit down with somebody like him and say, look, what the fuck, man? What is this all about? What's it for? You know, did some woman injure you? Was you molested as a child by a woman? I mean, just let's get to the basics of it. You know, what is this? What is this? What are you doing? Why are you doing it? Anjane Toshiro, Kiara. He also did a video saying women need to act like a puppy to hear men. Just saying, women should be rejoicing that this brother's off the earth right now. Just saying. Just a suggestion. Kiara, I think it's an agenda going on. Of course, no question. These people stay up late thinking about how to fuck with us. King Kai, shout out to you, my brother. What's up? Jedi, peace to the family. Kiara, and hopefully you got that those videos I sent you, especially that last one, because after what we talked about, I just thought it was just interesting that I run into that video, that last one that I sent you, because we had gone over both those topics to some degree, and I just thought, okay, I'll share this with you, see what you think. Kiara, Oprah, I know we dragged her and we cannot stand her, and the bitch is dead to us, but I had to. That's a perfect example of someone, you know what I mean? Like I really do. Those are the things I like about Oprah. You understand? So, what are you going to do? Cheryl Bryant, Jedi, and Shiro. I'm back. I had to step away for a while. Okay. Anjane, none of those men are in successful, happy relationships, but they want to tell women what to do. Like you did with Justice Scalia there was women cartwheeling because of how awful he was. Well, I'm glad to know that. But to the first part of it, when you said none of them are in happy situations, but they want to tell women what. And I was gonna say, yeah, that and then the numbers all show, whether we like it or not. Yeah, I can't stop yawning. Damn, the blood of Jesus. Black women are, as a group, more successful than we are. You know, black woman is more likely to have some sort of college, 2 to 4 years at the very least. More likely to have transportation, a job, a career, place to live. I mean, just at least the shit, the infrastructure of life. While niggas are just walking around holding their dick, not doing a fucking thing. But sadly, that same woman who's worked for all of that then will go out and hand her car keys to that brother that ain't got fucking nothing but dust in his pockets, not a goddamn thing to offer. So it gets to both sides for me on that. I can't. Sweet D, they love when we're beefing. Cheryl, great conversation tonight, Jedi. Thank you, Queen. I appreciate that. Miss Matthews, pardon M.O. Michelle Obama. Oh, and you talk about Michelle too on top of that? You know what I'm saying? Miss Matthews, I just know I'm gonna be outside your house before this month is out, potentially. I don't know. I love Michelle. Like, don't shorten her. You feel me? That's just like against channel. Want to abbreviate Michelle. Do that. But you say Michelle Obama. You mentioned her name either. I responded with that comment above in the moment, and that's fine. I know I'm out of context when I come to read, but that wasn't the context for me. It's just I didn't understand what you were saying at all before I could get to the context. So that's okay. You go on. In Nile Rodgers' memoirs, by the way, I love Nile Rodgers. That's somebody I just want to know his stories, man. That dude knows everything. And you wouldn't look at him and know he's a gazillion years old, but he's a gazillion. And he's done it all. And he has it all. That's the dude, man. And then you see old pictures, you're like, oh, that is him. Kind of like Randy Jackson. You like, when he's like, when I played Mariah, I put back to Mariah. And you're like, really, Randy? And then you see all these pictures and videos, and there's Randy's fat ass right there. Like, he's done it all. Nile Rodgers is 10 times Randy Jackson. In Nile Rodgers' memoir, which I know he had a memoir, now I want it, Le Freak, he mentioned how one day Diana Ross asked him to take her to get some White Castle. He said something that earned her Cheryl. He closed with that Diana can throw you again. See, Miss Matthews, then I'm wrong. It's me. I messed up. No, I was with you and on Diana. I thought you were gonna come to a point on Diana, and then it all just kind of fell flat. But I do know the story of the the Diana Ross thing, or at least one Diana Ross story that he told. He told her that I'm Coming Out would be an anthem song for her, and she hated it and didn't want it. But now Rodgers has a way, and sure enough, she opens up every single concert with I'm Coming Out. And all of her breathing and her furs that drag the ground. She always has to have something fucking dragging the ground. And constantly doing this to some dress and this to her hair. It's on purpose. Gotta have something dragging. My dress is almost sort of falling off, but not really. It was designed that way, no doubt. I'm sure she stood in haute couture for 20 hours so they could make it, And then some, in the hair, she's so ultimate, dude. Diana Ross, man. When we lose her, it's going to be many, many days of mourning. It'll be the closest thing to Michael Jackson that we've witnessed. Watch, 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 watch. Matthew's Hood Girl, Cave Ball, Curveball, out of nowhere at times. Merit something. The question, Jedi. I did I did I did Samuels take the government injection. I'm just reading what you typed because you didn't proofread 2 lines. Um, the question, Jedi, is okay, I've withdrawn. Your Honor, I'm out of line. Suggesting facts not in evidence. Move to strike on my own bitch ass. The question, Jedi, is did Samuels take the government injection? Thank you. All right. All right. Withdrawn. I'll redirect. Cheryl, Jedi, glad to hear your perspective on the Kevin Samuels situation, my king. Well, I'm so glad you take time to listen to it, Cheryl. It means a lot to me. Kita, walaikum salam. Khalifa, salam alaikum. Greetings, great one. Sorry I'm late. It's fine. And I don't know what time you left that comment. I don't even know how long I've been on because I'm not on the other software where I can look and know. Can I know on this? Yes, I can know. 3 hours. Just went to 3 hours as I looked at it. Wow. Why I wanted to speak on this, everybody, is because of all the reasons I've stated, quite frankly. You know, it's just... And I felt like people were, I don't know if people were reacting that just that he had died and he was a YouTuber, or was there something else to it, you know? Alas, other people have passed away, and you know, when I have people that names that I never see anymore, I remember one time it dawned on me like, wow, you know, when you just don't see names anymore, if there's been no personal contact with those individuals, where'd they go? Where'd they go? There's so many names that I can sit here and name right now that would just come to me that I don't see no more. You know, where'd they go? So you don't know. And if he hadn't been a big YouTuber and controversial, nobody would know about him, or not just know about him, but would anybody even really care? I don't know the answer to that. But I think the two are separate. I think his dying would be noteworthy simply because he was a known quantity, but it's not a loss in that, like, to miss his work is not going to be a loss because that was toxic information for our community. It doesn't seek to critique and to make change for the good, but for the gain of somebody else. You know, like I say, these men are now, it's almost like a brand to push that black women are the problem and they're the cause of all evil, and you know, they're trying to you know, take over, or they whatever I can't I've run out of the list of charges that they make now, but none of it's true. As I say, can there be some hateful bitches out there? Yes, I'm sure there is, but we'd have to get with that sister and diagnose the situation, see was she just born a hateful bitch, or is it we're gonna find some man at the end of her pathological trail when we do the reverse pathology and see how she get to be this crazy bitch. Look, it was her. Well, look, it was the dude that lived next door to her when she was 12. Turns out, yeah, whatever. I just inherently know and believe that women are not given to certain behaviors naturally. Just like many human beings aren't given to a lot of the behaviors that we see as normal to this day, these days. Um, just not normal. And proving that these things aren't normal, we've seen deliberate things that have just been changed that never would have been. You know, I was concerned even back when we was wearing, like Carl Kanai and cross colors and stuff like that. First time I seen a brother short with a hoodie on that had too much fur on it, it was a little sus for me. I felt the type of way. Can you wear that? And it was just too much. It just had too much lining on it. And now it's full out fur coats, and no need for retailers to make men's and women's clothing anymore. Men will just wear women's clothing and vice versa, so we're good. And forget that whole spending more material in those sizes. Everything will be this fucking small, and everybody will just be in shit that's skin tight. I know retail, and I know how many billions they've saved on just this fashion trend of the shit I just outlined to you. Men wearing a bunch of womanly bullshit, and everybody wearing a bunch of tight shit. I know that world. I know it. And so, just like that's been influenced, many things are being influenced. But we're under attack as a people in a way that you don't even understand. And I just feel like a fucking lonely vessel drifting in the middle of the damn ocean someplace with no hope of anybody finding me. I got no cell phone. There's no signal. Nobody knows I even left home. I'm just out here. That's how I feel most of the times of my life as it relates to the condition of our people. And this is also upsetting for me because, as I've said to you many times, there's no other culture of men. Go now and find me now. Of Asian men of any Asia you can find. It don't just gotta be Japan and fucking China. Find me any fucking Asia you want to express. Show me any one Asian dude up doing a whole fucking thing on Asian women. I'll just show me one Spanish dude anywhere up on anything talking shit about Spanish women. Show me. When you hear other cultures talk about, they don't even talk about their women. They say, man, women are such and such. It's just a general gripe against women. They just feel like women are this, but they don't make it a thing even. It's usually one fucker had a problem with his girlfriend or something, maybe, But black men have made it a whole fucking brand to do nothing but air out, blame, and tear down black women. I'm over it. Anyways, 3 hours seems like a good place to end, and I've read all of your comments. Black Winter, shout out to you. I see you just right now. And it just occurs to me that it's going to be the stroke of midnight on the East Coast in 2 minutes. That's perfect. 3 hours and and then now it's going to be stroke of midnight on the East Coast. That says land. That screams land to me. Screams land. Also screams that maybe we'll get a chance to get together tomorrow, everybody. I have to be hostage here at the house because I'm waiting on the fucking plumber. I really didn't want to call anybody in to do this because I just didn't want people in my house, but it's just beyond me now. This has to be done by a plumber. And then when I found out that the next door neighbors were having an issue too, but when I first started having this issue, I asked them, are you guys having plumbing problems? I just went, oh no, we're not having any plumbing problems. So they probably lied, and so you probably read about them being killed off. I don't want to say too much. And maybe that's why my stuff isn't going, because their shit is stopped up some kind of way. Y'all fucked my shit up, because it's just me, and I'm consistent with all my habits in life on everything. Damn. So, plumber was supposed to come today, didn't happen. They're not sure about tomorrow. If they don't come tomorrow, it could be Monday. So I'm in a holding pattern, But I just didn't really want people in my house, because even like that, you let the cable person in, you let the plumber in, things like that. People bring energy, they bring energy. And you know, there's a movie. I'll say this as I go. Black Winter. I shouted you out. Ghost. There's a movie Ghost that Whoopi Goldberg's sellout bitch ass did. Anyways, um, but when the guy played by Patrick Swayze, when he dies, he gets murdered. They're showing his world in death and living, and the world that's still going and living at the same time. It's kind of like that, but it speaks to this idea of this energy being brought. You know, um, you just open the door and they go, "Hi, we're here to do your so and so." And you go, "Oh yeah, come on in, such and such." You know, that's a simple thing, but you're not thinking of the transfer of energy there. We bring energy with us. We do. We do. So I just didn't want people in my house, you know. And usually before Ramadan, like usually my house is holy anyway for the most part, without my profanity and rantings. But certainly after Ramadan, my house is like zen, holy, don't come near. And I just wasn't ready for anybody to be in here, you know. But I have to give in because I tried Drano, I tried Mr. Plumber, I did it all, and none of that shit worked. And now I think it's the fucking teenager next door. It's gotta be, because they're fucking teenagers. They broke the gate 4 times. I fixed it myself. So if you're not taking care of the common property, I know you fucking up your own shit. And you're young, so you're stupid, because teenagers are not the responsible individuals that I was when I was a teenager, and most teenagers I knew had some level of responsibility. None of that going on with teenagers now. Everything's a fucking smartphone, and they don't give a fuck. You know. Other thing I want to pass on to you, just in general, is don't wear a lot of fucking earbuds, everybody. Everything is an earbud or a headset. This is the most perfect audio thing on earth. This right here. So sophisticated are our ears that there's even something in the inner ear that works with the brain. So like when your phone rings, it wouldn't just be a sound. Like a baby is born, they just hear a sound. You know where that sound is. You can hone in on it based on where it's coming from. How do you know that? Why isn't it just, I hear something? Why do you look? Because you're looking to where it's coming from. That's not something that's just you should overlook. You understand what I'm telling you? Like, it matters. Anyways. But these earbuds and headphones, because it dawned on me with them playing their television and their gaming and all their bullshit, I'm like, they're teenagers. They're probably wearing fucking earbuds all goddamn day. And now there's not an earbud for their TV, so everything has to be loud, so it sounds like it does when they have their earbuds in. Either way, the apartment gets bombed. I don't want to say too much. I've said too much already. Anyways, I want you guys to go away and have a good evening. It's 3 minutes after midnight on the East Coast. We're probably going to get together tomorrow because there's some other things that I wanted to point out in my last video that I noticed after we were done with the subway piece. There was one of them that comes to mind without me looking at my notes was, if you were on that stream, you know that we saw a video I played, and somebody pointed out it was nothing but Asian people that was supposedly scurrying off the train. The time on that video was 8:11. They said that the bombing didn't happen until 8:30. So how are they scurrying off the train at 8:11? Just I mean, again, more shit. But whatever. So I want to say I love you guys all, and maybe we'll be together tomorrow. Thank you guys all who came to be a part of the stream. Thank you to my moderators. Thank you for any of the new names that I didn't know and I'm seeing for the first time. And of course, all my regulars and my ride or dies. I love you guys all so much. And I will see you soon. This is the Jedi. And I have to delay because usually when I do it on this software, after I say and it never gets to that. It's already cut off. So now I'm just gonna cut it off now that I got it out.